Howdy, y'all, and welcome to David's Saturday Night Sitback. I'm David, your host, and almost 3 years ago, I started this podcast having no idea what it was going to be about or who my target audience would become. After the first 12 episodes came out, I was approached by a 17-year-old in the gym who told me that at the young age of 16 years old, he was so miserable that he tried to take his own life. He's alive, thriving, and joining the military today, but it was at that moment I knew exactly what this podcast was going to become. I'm on a mission to find hidden gems in Austin, Texas, and give them a platform with one mandate: to tell personal stories that'll light the internal fire within the audience so they can have a candle in the darkness as they navigate the dark night of their journey. My end game for this podcast is that one day I'll have thousands of emails from people all over the world telling me how these stories gave them courage to take their dreams, turn them into goals, and chase those goals until they become a reality. So with that said, if today's episode impacts you, email your story to sitbackwithdavid@gmail.com. With that in mind, let me introduce you to my friend who is sitting back with me for today's 150 milestone episode. Imagine you're standing backstage. The house lights are low, the air is buzzing with anticipation, and the only thing separating you from thousands of screaming fans is a black curtain and a 4-count click in your ear. But this isn't a dream. This is a moment you've been building towards your whole life, not just through rehearsals and shows, but through years of quiet, relentless grind in studios, behind screens, and at every turn choosing creation over comfort. This is what it's like to be Tyler Hayes. He's the drummer for The Broken View, a breakout rock band that's captured the ears of over 150,000 fans and racked up more than 20 million views with their acoustic hits. He's a producer, mixer, and mastering engineer under his own company, Greyscale Recordings, and a proud alum of the New School Center for Media. When bands in Austin need their sound dialed in and taken to the next level, Tyler's the guy to call. He's been inspired by legends like Def Leppard, Slipknot, Avenged Sevenfold, and even Mumford & Sons. And yet, if you're grabbing him a drink, keep it humble and simple. Just a Dunkin' iced mocha latte with 2 extra espresso shots. But here's what most people don't know. Behind the scenes of DSNSB, Tyler's fingerprints have been everywhere. The cleaner audio, that was him. The upgraded studio, him. The launch of our website, also him. And beyond all of that, Tyler's been a friend I've laughed with on the best days and cried with on the worst. He showed up when I didn't even know I needed someone, and this brotherhood has become one of the most unexpected and meaningful gifts this show has brought into my life. So tonight, I'm honored to flip the mics and finally shine the spotlight on someone who's usually behind the board. Tyler Hayes, thank you for what you bring to the world, to the show, and to my life, and welcome to your episode on David's Saturday Night Sitback.
Hell yeah, dude. What a fucking intro.
Yeah, no cursing for the first 10 minutes, please.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Well, hey, as a thank you gift to you, I got you something, and I don't know if you'll like it or not, but I feel like if there's ever a day where you're working for 36 hours straight and maybe you need to take a break for 10 minutes and just get your mind off things, you did a big sigh thinking of your most recent 30s. Sorry to bring that terrible
I'm still recovering
back
from that.
But I got you this, and I hope you like it. And it's something that, you can do 5 minutes here, an hour there, and when it's completely done, it'll be a very, it's not broken.
It's a puzzle?
It's not a puzzle.
Not a puzzle. I like to guess presents before. Well, thank you. Let's see. Oh, dude. Legos. Let's go. And it's a plant.
And
Look
it's
at
a
that.
plant.
Yes. Thank you, man.
Will you build it?
Yeah, we'll build it.
Yeah, you're
I
welcome.
think my sister Rebecca builds, at least she did. I don't know if she still does, but she would build the huge spaceships and stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was really big
thank
into
you.
the medieval ones.
Yeah.
So I had all the castles and the dragons and the knights and the princesses and the Merlins, the warlocks.
I had a Pirates of the Caribbean one or something. It was like a big boat. And then they had a set where I forget which one it was, but when they were on the island and they were all in the ball, they got captured and they got put in the ball between 2 mountains. What one was that? And then they had to swing and climb up the mountain. And
that was number 2.
That was 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had that ball thing as well. I don't know if it was Lego, though, but it was a big set. And that was my toy of choice, I suppose, for a while. And then I found WWE wrestlers, and, that was awesome.
You would never guess what my very first question is.
Does it have to do with WWE?
A little bit.
Okay.
Just to sort of paint the picture of the man that is Tyler Hayes. I forget if all these notes are a collection of our own personal experiences being friends, listening to the Broken Views podcast, and I think that's my main two sources, and also talking to some of your family members, which I know you were ecstatic about. But you were a huge fan of WWE, but specifically Jeff Hardy growing up, right?
Jeff Hardy, yeah, he was one of them. I had the sleeves and everything, and Jeff Hardy was one. Edge was one. I was just talking to Maya about this the other night. It was funny because I was showing her like old WWE. There's like compilation videos of like old WWE matches and stuff, and we were going through, and it was like Edge and Jeff Hardy, and Edge spears Jeff Hardy out when he's like hanging off the Money in the Bank. And Jeff Hardy's trying to get it down, and Edge comes up from a 20-foot ladder and spears him into the middle of the mat. So that was fun, and she was like, "You're such a boy."
You are.
I'm like, yeah, like, but how can you not look at that and just like go, "Oh my god," you know? She's like, it's all fake, and I'm like, it's literally like, yeah, it's scripted to a certain degree, but these men are literally like 200-pound men are literally jumping through ladders and chairs and falling off 25-foot steel cages above the ring into a announcer desk, and it's crazy. They're just stunt people.
Yeah.
Like, it's like in a movie where it's all coordinated. Like, yeah, they have stunts that they just do live and hope that they don't break a
Crazy
leg.
stunts.
Crazy stunts, yeah.
I remember in my house in Folsom, I was probably, I forget how old I was, but my dad was channel surfing, and we had like the main TV in the family room, and then there was a TV in like the playroom in the down the hall that we only use usually if like if my parents wanted to watch a movie that wasn't appropriate for kids. They'd be like, "All right, you guys go down the hall, turn on whatever." And my dad's channel surfing, and he goes to whatever channel the WWE was, leaves it there for a few seconds, and then changes it. And I'm like, no, go back. And he says, we don't watch that. It's too violent.
Oh my
And
God.
I remember saying, I have to use the bathroom. And so I ran down the hall, and I turned on the other TV, and I found it. And I still remember to this day, it was Chris Benoit versus Randy Orton. I don't remember anything else about the match. I just remember specifically it was the two of them.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was fascinated. I think as a kid, I was seeing these like jack dudes.
Yeah.
And I had never seen guys that looked like that before.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was fake. You know, I was just a little 14, 15, 16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
But I was obsessed. I was like, well, maybe not obsessed, but I was immediately fascinated. I was like, what is this?
Yeah. They so you probably saw like your first few episodes were probably in the Attitude Era. That's like when being a bad guy was cool. Like, there's still to some degree, but like kind of like the FU to the big man and stuff, like that kind of that was my favorite era. And I just got like the tail end of it when I started watching. And then now it's kind of, I don't watch it anymore, but it's fun from time to time.
Yeah, I was working on the podcast one night, and I saw that Monday Night Raw was on streaming on Netflix, and so I just turned it on in the background.
Yep.
And I didn't recognize any of the fighters that were on that night.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it sort of lost its appeal to me too. I don't know why. I still think it's good. I just don't. I guess it's just seasonal.
Yeah, well, maybe it's also just doesn't have like that same like edge that it once did. You know, like back like how they would like make you bleed in they would like just have like little razor blades and score their they would be on the mat and they would score their foreheads to make it look like they're bloody after getting hit by a cinder block or something.
Oh, so they actually cut themselves.
Yeah, like they really like had a, but like they don't really do much of that anymore. I know like I guess AEW is like the new thing that's kind of, because WWE's just gotten, I guess, pretty corporate, obviously, but and so they have like a board of people now that, and I'm sure like they did back then, but it's a little more sensitive now. Let's put it that way. It's just like a little more kid friendly. Back when, when we first saw it, it was like, I don't care if you see it. Like, we're going to show it anyway. And, like, I remember Edge, like, one of his scenes, like, he had, like, sex with one of the divas in the middle of the ring in a bed in a mattress. Like, that's, like, that was, like.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never saw one of those episodes.
Yeah, dude. It was, like, and there's, like, kids in the audience, and they're all like, oh. But, like, obviously they're not really having sex, but he's like there's a mattress in the middle of the ring, and Edge is going under the covers with her, and they're fooling around, and then he would come up and he'd have like panties or a bra in his mouth and like all this shit. It's like they would never see that now. Like, so I don't know, but it's fun.
What even is kid friendly anymore though? Because now that kids have cell phones, they're being exposed to porn way earlier than they ever were.
Yeah.
They're being exposed to R-rated movies way earlier. So whether it's like that's very ironic that they're dumbing it down to make it more like family friendly.
Yeah.
When really there's probably nothing that they could do that a kid hasn't seen already.
Right. And I think they're like starting to try and go back to their like more shocking stuff, but like AEW and stuff, like they're doing a lot of like the ladders and chairs and stuff where it's like really dangerous stunts that they're doing, but we'll see.
We'll see. You know what else we're gonna see?
What are we gonna see?
We're gonna see some pictures of you.
Okay.
All right. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts today, if you want to jump over to YouTube for a few minutes, I'll embed these into the video so that you can see them too. But we're going to go back in time a little bit. And I got to say, I know this is you, but man, you sure look different now.
Oh, boy.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
There I am. Oh, my. That would be 11th grade. Yep, 11th grade. That would be, oh boy, the chain. I'm wearing an Obey shirt. Remember Obey?
Yeah.
That brand?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Obey, and what was it? Diamond. You remember Diamond?
Yeah.
Another state company.
Yep.
Yep, all the Zoomies brands, That was a big thing. Then the khaki pants with the Jordans. Or LeBron's. Yep. That was the look, man. Do I have my earring? Yeah. My self-pierced earrings. Nice.
Who is that version of Tyler?
Who is that version of Tyler?
Yeah.
Oh my. Skinny. Very skinny. Flunking in school because I hated high school. High school was not a good time for me. Yeah, I think I would have. Okay. So this is when I started really getting into gaming, actually. This was like competitive esports. I was super into optic gaming. Any like Call of Duty esports and stuff. I was super into that, so I started taking that seriously.
What a statement.
Yep.
Were you failing because you didn't try or because you didn't understand or a mix of both?
A mix of both. I mean, my dad would say that I succeed well in anything that I do. Oh, I probably shouldn't fold this on you.
It's okay. I can take that one back.
There you go. My dad would say that when I apply myself to anything, I can do anything and excel at. But I'm very picky at what I choose to spend my time on. And math just was not one of those things. Or history. I was like, why do I have to learn? I paid attention in U.S. history, but like when I was learning about pharaohs and stuff in 11th grade and Egypt, I was just, why do I got to know this guy's name? Like, it's not. I know what I want to do. I want to play music. I want to be in the music industry. I want to play my drums. Like that's what I want my life to be. What's a pharaoh gonna do for me? That was alive a few thousand years ago. Like, I'm good. Yeah. And so yeah, that was a pretty low grade. I think my lowest grade was like 46. Yep. I think I just played a game of how low I could get it. That's the kind of student I was. And then I would do really well in things like music, any kind of music class. But I didn't want to play band. I didn't like band because they wouldn't let me play the drum kit. They just spaced it out into several people, one playing bass drum, one playing snare drum, and one cymbals. And I was like, I just want to do all of it at once. I don't want to sit here and do rudiments on a drum. I'm good. So I was that kind of kid. I was very like against the grain in every aspect. And then my dad, I remember he was like, oh, music's not like a real career. And at this point I was like, well, you know what? YouTube and gaming is. And he was like, that's not any better. So, and now he looks at it, he's like, oh, wow, you're right. Because now, like, YouTube, being a YouTuber and professional gaming is everywhere. But at the time, it was like just going up the hill. So, yeah.
You had a guy on recently who, I think when he was either 18 or 19, I think his mode of getting his stuff out there was Twitch. And the game was Fortnite.
Yep.
And in 1 year, he made $13,000 by just gaming.
Yeah.
And I thought that was insane.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a huge... I mean, that is a lot of money.
Sure.
But to be 18 and just gaming and then streaming it and then make money off of that.
Yep.
Like, I never had $13,000 as a teenager.
Yep.
That was good for him.
Yeah. And that's like low end. Like, some of the top streamers, man, are millions of dollars a month, let alone a year. And it's like, the sky's the limit.
Why are we doing this?
Why are we doing this?
Why are we podcasting right now? We should be playing a game and making $1 million.
Well, I mean, it comes down to a lot of it's sponsorships and donations and stuff like that. So, like, you're in the content realm by doing a podcast, you know. So that's just, we're getting there.
We're getting there.
Anyone want to sponsor David's Saturday Night Sit Back?
Yeah, we don't have a sponsor yet.
Go to dsnsp.com.
Maybe Austin, Texas's own cold brew coffee company would want to be the first sponsor.
Yeah, there you go.
I'd love to have a local company sponsor this show.
That'd be awesome.
All right. Who is how old are you here?
Oh boy. God, that haircut.
It looks better. I was going to say your looks have improved since the last picture. Still skinny.
Dude, that haircut's rough. So this was my senior photo. So this would have been 17. Yep. And we went to an alley in Saratoga Springs and brought my drum kit out there and did my senior photos. And the dude who does my hair, he's Wade at Roots Barberco in Clifton Park. Shout out to you, Wade. I miss you so much. He's the only one to ever do my hair correctly, and he was not available this day, and so I went to a different place, and this is what they did to me. And I was incredibly upset. And
this is what they did to me.
Yep. And yeah, so this is not the actual senior photo that I used. The senior photo I used, I'm kind of like, my head's like profile, so you can't see like this weird little whip of hair that's just kind of hanging out over there, and it kind of looked okay, but yeah, man, that was rough. That was, because actually, so I used to get, I remember what happened. Okay. I used to get like that hard part line in the side. And so I told this new barber guy that, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I got you. And he like proceeded to go like way, like past the corner, like up here, and like shave all this stuff off, and then put the hard part like almost in the middle of my head." And I'm like, that was way too high. But like, what are you gonna say? It's already gone. You can't put it back. So I'm like, great. So I'm just gonna look like a freaking, what do I look like? I look like a Muppet or something. one of the Muppets or something. Like with, oh no, I look like Peanut. Jeff Dunham's Peanut, the purple guy.
Yes.
That's what I look like.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have peanut hair in this. Yeah, that was very disappointing. But, you know, still did it. I wanted to wear a hat. My mom wouldn't let me. But, you know what? That's that.
You do look like Peanut.
Yep.
Yeah, I sort of forgot what he looked like. But
Yeah. Yeah, dude, there it is. And he does his hair going back and forth. Yeah. So, that was that. That was a very sad haircut.
When did you start? You remember how old you were when you started drumming?
5 years old.
5?
Yep.
You were a youngin'.
Mm-hmm. First kit was, well, even before that, I got my first kit at 5. I was always banging on pots and pans, and I had this big plastic toy chest that was like white and green, and I would use that as a bass drum and just jerry rig a bunch of stuff together. And you know, my trash can, the bottom, I had it was like either a Spider-Man or a Superman tin, you know, like those old tin trash cans.
Yeah.
And so that would be my snare drum. I'd flip it over, and it had like a bunch of dents in it from me smacking it with sticks and stuff. But yeah, that was, so I would say but I got my grandmother got me a red kids drum set at 5 years old, and that's when I started. And then my first band was me and my cousins, and it was called the Gangsters Band. Yeah.
Remind me what your YouTube page was called. That had a funny name too.
My YouTube page. Oh, for gaming?
I maybe you just told, maybe it wasn't you. Didn't you used to have some sort of YouTube page with a really funny sort of cringe name, if it was still up?
For gaming, I had X Silky. That was that was my gamer tag. X Silky.
X Silky.
Yep. X capital S Ilky. Yep.
All right, I'll show you one more picture in case there's anyone who's like, "Oh, I want to go back to Spotify so bad." Last one.
Hey, that's the new school. That was this one would have been the B room. So this is my second semester. Well, semester. They only did like 6 months in one class and then 6 months in the other.
Is this at the New School Center for Media?
Yeah. And so it was basically like a trade school in Albany. Shut down now, which sucks. But you could do anything media there. So they taught audio, they taught TV broadcast. You could be a weatherman there. They did any kind of media stuff. And obviously I was in the audio department, and yeah, my teacher David Tayo, he's the real MVP. He was, like the like how there's usually like that one teacher that has a pretty significant impact on your life, like for at least most people. Dave would be that guy for me. He kind of like put things in perspective he was like the first one to kind of like say, you don't need like a freaking $100,000 console to make good music. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Like all this stuff here, like you don't need all that to make music. It's just kind of a luxury, and it helps you get there faster, but you don't need it. And so like, don't let not having all this stuff prevent you from doing what you love doing. Same thing like with all this stuff. Like, don't need it, and you haven't needed it to do this awesome podcast. But it's nice now that I have it, and like having, like how you said the other day, where you're like, it's so nice just having everything ready to go all the time, set up, plug and play, one button, and I'm ready to go.
Yep. But
like, those things sometimes take time to establish and set up, but you don't need it to do it, So he was kind of like the one, and we still talk to this day, which is pretty cool. And yeah, he's a good dude. So that was at the new school, and I think this might have been actually graduation day or something. Otherwise, I don't know why my mom would be there, so taking this photo of me. So
that's cool that you remember your mom took this picture specifically.
Yep.
Look at you.
Yep.
So young.
So young.
So young. Now you're
Yeah,
so
so
old.
I would have been 18 or 19 there. Probably 19 actually. Yeah. Yep.
You are a
and that was actually the early days of the Broken View.
Really?
Yeah, that just sparked that memory because I remember the first guitar player we had, Matt Spinner. He was in my class, and I remember coming to him, showing him the first demo of All I Feel Is You, and being like, "Yo, this is what we're doing. What do you want to play guitar for us?" And that started the conversation. So yeah, those were the early days.
We will come back to the Broken View in a moment.
Sure.
Or maybe several moments. You're one of 3 siblings, right?
Yep.
You middle, oldest, youngest?
Middle.
You're the middle.
The forgotten one.
No. Well, I sort of...
The oldest is always the guinea pig for everything. The middle's kind of like, all right, we're going to get it right this time. And then the third one comes around. They're just the golden child. So then you get forgotten about, and then you still have the guinea pig. So I just weaseled my way through. That's the thing.
I think I was the golden child for a little bit because there's a 9-year difference between me and my younger sister.
Yeah.
And I think they thought they were done having kids after me.
Mm-hmm.
So the last 2 were sort of an
little
anomaly.
whoops.
Yeah. So I don't know what they would be if there's any stereotypes around kids that are born later in life, but
that might be I know, like, for the most, any kind of like middle child, at least that come from like 3 kids in total, the middle one's always like, yep, I'm just the one that gets away with everything. Or not everything, like golden child gets away with everything, but like just kind of just forges their own path. Less likely to get handed out things, and then oldest child, forget about it. It's like, you're doing this, you're doing that. And yeah, but
I wonder if my brother sort of felt forgotten about because he was definitely the troublemaker of the family.
yeah, okay, there you go. And I was the troublemaker too. Yeah,
I remember one day he came home and he's wearing a white polo shirt,
Yeah.
and he walks through the door and he turns around to close it, and it's covered in blood. And I said, "What? Mark, you're bleeding." And he says, "I am." And he says, "I thought I was just sweating." And he touches the back of his head, and he's like, "Oh wow, hit my head harder than I thought." And I said, "How do you hit your head?" And he said, "I jumped out of a moving vehicle."
God. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then he probably just went on with his day, and you were like, "What?"
Yeah, he had to go get some stitches, but after
Sure.
that, he went on with his
He's
day.
just like, yeah, whatever. That's life.
What were your family dynamics like growing up? How would you describe your family? All of them, the siblings as well as your parents.
Well, growing up, it's pretty close with my mom. I was kind of a mama's boy. Sisters, my oldest sister and I, kind of like, I was always the annoying little brother to her, I guess, so we didn't really get along. I remember one specific moment we were trying to like watch. Oh, this goes back to the oldest always gets shit. I came home from school. I must have been in elementary school or something.
Elementary.
Elementary.
Not elementary. Elementary.
Elementary. I think that's, I don't know. I've always said it like that.
You went from under enunciating to over enunciating.
I guess so. But no, I got home from school, and my sister was watching TV. I think she was like watching Dr. Phil or something. Something stupid that no kid wanted to watch. And I was like, "You've had the TV for an hour," because she would get home an hour earlier, and then I would get home. I was like, "You've been watching the TV long enough. I want to watch my cartoons." And so I took the remote and I changed the channel. She didn't like that, so she ripped it out of my hand. She went back, and we had this remote fight. And she got so frustrated with me that she punched me in the shoulder.
Yeah.
And then, like, hard. And I was like, I don't like that. And I punched her shoulder back. And then we had, like, this punching shoulder match. At least before one of us finally gave up. I don't know who cracked first, but she went upstairs. And then I think I ended up tattling on her, as younger annoying brothers do. And she was the one to get in trouble, despite us both, doing the same exact thing, because she's the oldest and she needs to set the example. And I just remember as she was getting yelled at by my mom, I was just like looking over at her going like just antagonizing her. So yeah, we weren't really close. My youngest sister, we weren't really ever close either, until like she was like high school, when then we started talking more and hanging out more, and now we're cool. We have a lot more similar interests. She likes to game a lot, and so she likes movies, and Zack Snyder's Justice League. So yeah, so we get along a lot more, and then yeah, my mom and I are always pretty close. Then my dad and I, growing up, definitely butted heads a lot. So due to like school things and not like performing well at school, and all the dad things.
Yeah.
Dad wants you to succeed and do by the book things, and get a job.
Oh, I know.
Go to college, go to the whole like
The American dream.
The American way, a lifetime ago. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
And which is funny now, because like things have progressed so quickly that like that's not even like, for most people, that's not even in their radar to like, for some people college is just like not even a thought. It's like, because you can basically start a business, like you said, their Twitch streamer guy, 17-year-old, making that kind of money, and he's just keep doing it, invest that money into doing it another year and make it even better, and see the return come back tenfold. And
yeah.
You got a operating business at 18. Like, why would he want to go to college, spend all that money on a degree, few $100,000 on a degree, to be in debt by the time he's out in a marketplace that's not really hiring, especially with AI coming out that's replacing half their jobs.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, there's definitely like moments of like, oh, what it would have been like if I just, did the normal thing, but it's never like I regret it in any sense. I'm glad. Like I did the only reason I did like the audio thing is because my mom brought it to me. Like I didn't even find it, but she found it, and so I was making an album with my first band, and my buddy John Felino, he was an audio engineer, and he had his own like little studio set up in his backyard, and that was like my first introduction, like in high school, to like the production side of music and studio recording and all that stuff. And so that kind of like sparked an interest in me. And so then that was my mom that found the school, because like the deal was that I at least go to some sort of schooling after college. And I was like, oh, like, why do I have to do that? And then I remember like at community college, she was like, oh yeah, you're gonna have to do like 2 years of math, English, and science, just like high school. And I was like, so what's the point of me graduating high school if I'm just going back for 2 years just to high school 2.0? Like,
yeah.
It just made zero sense to me. And I was like, it's just a scam. Like, for someone like me, like if you want to be a doctor, that's one thing. Go to school. I'm not that guy. I am not a doctor by any means. And it just never made sense to me. And so yeah, my full circle, my dad didn't like that answer ever, and we kind of now we're good. It was took a bit to get there, but yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I got to meet your dad about a year and 3 months ago, give or take. And since I didn't know any of your guys' history, when we were all at dinner, shout out Terry Blacks, you guys seem like two peas in a pod.
Yeah, we're good now.
Yeah. He seemed like he's very proud of you, and we got a lot of laughs in, and we had great conversation, and I didn't sense any friction whatsoever.
No, that's all worked itself out. Definitely. Glad it did take some time. And I think, like, moving away, like, for a while, I was doing it, like, I was still, like, living at home, and just, that dynamic in itself, doing dishes and stuff, and you don't pick up this, like, those kinds of things would get under his skin, too, or mowing the lawn in a certain way, like.
Why is that such a big thing with dads?
Yeah.
Same thing with my dad. He was always so picky. I'm like, the lawn is cut.
It's cut.
What do you?
Yeah.
Who cares if the lines are going this way versus that way? Like,
exactly.
Come on.
Like that kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, do you want to cut? If you want to cut, you're getting it cut my way. If I'm doing it. So again, you never like that answer, and but yeah, so that's our relationship has gotten much better as time has gone on. So, which is, I guess, a similar thing with his dad. So I guess it
trickles down.
It trickles down. Yeah. So
one of my buddies at the gym, I think he just turned 20 yesterday, and he is getting ready to move out. And he is joining, I forget what branch, but he's joining a branch of the military, but he's going to like Pakistan or something.
Wow.
And the way he's telling his dad is he's leaving a note on the kitchen table. So him and his dad have butted heads since the day he was born. And he was like, he's not going to approve. He's going to say no. Yeah. He's going to try to stop me. Yeah. So one day in about 2 months, his dad's just going to walk through the door, get home from work, and there's going to be a letter sitting on the table. And
well, I mean, there is.
I'm not endorsing this or saying don't do it.
No,
I'm just telling we're just storytelling. That's what we do here.
That's what we do. Yeah. No, I mean, there was certainly a time that I probably would have done the same. But yeah, I mean, hopefully, with time, that relationship will mend.
I hope so too. He'll be literally out of the country for 6 months.
Yeah.
So that'll give them 6 months of cold turkey separation, and they both can think, and the kid will, well, he's not a kid, he's a young man. He'll be grown up, he'll be completely out of his parents' purview, and I don't know if you feel like this, but I feel like the way I grew up and matured was by going and getting life experience without being micromanaged by your parents, disciplining you or applauding you, like just having them out of the picture for a while.
Right. And like, because I never went to college or anything, like I never got that experience of like going away and being my own individual human, I lived with my parents, and so come home, and Dad, can I borrow the car? Do that. Get home, I'd be working on something. My dad would get home from work, be like, "Can you go do the dishes?" I'm like, "I'm working on something. Like I'm trying to like build music stuff," and then I would be up all hours of the night. That was another thing. I'd be up so late, and like we shared. He was like right across the hallway from my bedroom, and so I'd be working on music and stuff. Or Austin would be over, and we'd be working on music, and we'd be trying to be really quiet, but like just the fact that we were up, he was like, "It's not good for you." And like, yeah, he's not wrong, but at the same time, I'm like, well, these are the sacrifices I'm willing to make for my own being, and it's not affecting you. At least, we're not being obnoxiously loud. And I would always get him with this one. I was like, well, it's better than me being here at 21 years old than getting fucked up at a bar in Saratoga where you don't even know where I am. We're doing drugs and cocaine with a bunch of friends, doing God knows what. At least I'm here doing music and being productive in some case. And he was like, so yeah, that's pretty much the extent of what our relationship was. It was just bickering for a while of like, when are you getting out? And when are you gonna get a real job? And then it wasn't until like after like Broke Reviews started taking off and I was able to actually show him like my taxes, and he went, "Oh."
You showed him your taxes.
Yeah. He went, "Oh, okay."
It's my first 1040, Dad.
Yeah. And then it kind of clicked. He's like, "Okay, there's a business thing here that's." He's proven it to me, and then that's when he's kind of shut up about it. Yeah. Just kind of let me do the thing, and then I moved out and still doing it. Now we're in Austin, Texas.
Yeah,
so that's how we. And now things are much better, and we call and talk for a while, and movie recommendations. We always bond over movies and stuff. That was always one thing that, despite I make it sound like, whoa, we never got along. We did get along. It was much more rare than, like, we would bicker more than we'd get along at the time. But, yeah, no, we always bonded over movies and watching movies, and which is funny because, like, if I was watching movies till 4 a.m. with him, he wouldn't say a peep about it. But if I was up with Austin in my bedroom and he was trying to go to sleep, he'd come in and be like, "Go to sleep. It's not good for you." like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Good night. Yeah. So, love him. Love you, Dad.
Let's not spend too much time on this because it's not the most interesting question, but I just realized I have no idea about this. Did you ever have a quote unquote real job? Did you ever work at like a record store as a teenager, or you work at a Dunkin' Donuts for a couple months or something like that?
I worked at a Regal no longer than a year, like the Regal movie theater.
Yep.
And then I worked at SPAC, which is Saratoga Performing Arts Center. So it's their Live Nation amphitheater. Basically like Austin's, the Moody, like where we saw Blue October.
Yep.
The Moody amphitheater.
Yep.
Same kind of thing. A little bit bigger. There's like an actual inside portion, and then it opens up to the lawn.
Isn't SPAC either you or Austin's like dream destination to play at one day?
That's mine. Because I
you
worked
didn't
there.
Tell me you worked at your dream location.
Yeah, I was a parking assistant, so people would come in, I'd direct them where to park. Just a little summer job. It was fun. And then I got to watch all the shows for free. So that was I got to see Mumford & Sons sold out, 25,000 people. That was pretty cool.
Woo!
Yeah. And then they broke up after that. So
Womp,
they're back
womp.
now. They're back together. But yeah, I saw that. Yeah, lots of shows. And that's actually the stage I walked across on graduation. So I took it all in that moment. I was like walking across the stage. I was like, next time I'm going to be up here, I'm going to be way back there on the stage and playing drums. And so I that mental image is in my head of seeing what it looks like from the vantage point of the stage. And yeah, that is my dream destination, as you could say.
Yeah, I think I told you I went to the Austin Public Library. Remember that like 3 or 4 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And quick shout out for anyone that's listening. We are doing our first event in front of a live audience on Saturday, February 28th. Doors open at 1 p.m. And if you scroll down in the show notes, there's a link to the website, www.dsnsb.com. That was built by Tyler. And you can sign up for the event. Tickets, I have a feeling, are going to go quick because there's only 100 of them. And I know that I have at least 20 or 30 people that have already said that they want to come. And
I'm going.
And you're going. You don't have to buy a ticket, though. You can just, you're running the show.
I'm running the show.
you get, if you're running the show, you get in for free.
Yeah.
And the guest is going to get in for free. We're going to have a singer. There's going to be live music. We're going to kick it off with some live comedy. I have one of my best friends, Isaac Kane Brown, is going to do a set. So it's not just going to be me and someone talking for 2 hours. It's going to be much more than that. There's going to be a few folks that I want to introduce them to for either business purposes, and it's just going to be such a fun event, and it's my dream that's becoming a reality. So join us. But I bring this up to say, I did this sort of a similar thing with APL, where I just went out there and I brought my laptop out there and I sat in the venue for 2 or 3 hours and just sort of did it actually was very hard to get work done because my imagination was flying with ideas for the event and just where the podcast has come and where it's going. And I found I was actually very unproductive.
Yeah. Well, I remember I was like walking across there. And you go like walk up and get your diploma. That the diploma's not even in there. At least for our school, they would mail it to you. So it's like all for show. And I just remember going up there. I didn't even care about the diploma. I was like, okay, whatever. I just stood up there and I like just looked in the audience for like as long as I could before it started being weird. Like, why is this kid just standing in the middle of the stage looking into nothing? Like, but it was like just like one of those things. And then one other time, the whole middle child rebellious story, I guess, again. Another time, so SPAC, since the amphitheater shuts down in the winter because it's all outside, so and in upstate New York it's freezing and snowing, so no shows happen, so they shut it down, and it's in the middle of a park, Saratoga State Park, and so it's open. You can go walk around and stuff in it, and me and some of my friends decided to go take a walk through SPAC in the middle of the night, and I don't think we were doing anything like bad or anything. I think we were literally just walking. And but we noticed that the gate to get into SPAC, the actual venue, was open. So we're like, let's go walk in there. And so we went in there, and then we went on the lawn. So SPAC has like a big lawn, and then you walk down the hill, and since it was winter, they didn't have any of the barricades like up. So it was all just open. So we just like walked down to the stage, and then we're like, let's go see if like upstairs, because they have a lower level and then an upper level. So like, well, let's go see if the upper level is open. So we went up there, and then we noticed that there was a gate, like a small gate, to go up to the catwalk behind the stage.
Yes.
And that was just open. So we went, let's go walk on the back of the stage. So I've been on the stage and also like 80 to 100 feet above the stage on a catwalk. So, yeah.
You just reminded me of a time when I went to a private Christian school that had a church attached to it.
Yeah.
And the church was big. I think it probably fit, I'm so bad at this, but like 1,000 people maybe, because it was they had a giant stage, and it was amphitheater like seating, and it probably went back like 30 rows of pews, and then there was probably like 6 different sets of pews.
Yeah.
And even when the high schools did chapel in their midweek, we were about 350 in size, and we could all fit in like the front 2 sets of pews. So even if you just extrapolate that, that's about 1,500 people between the bottom floor and then the balcony.
Yeah.
So pretty big sized room. And there was one day where I think we either had like a substitute teacher or something, but for some reason, me and like 3 or 4 friends decided to skip class, and we knew we wouldn't be caught. And we went to the church, which was on the same piece of land. You know, it's all one and the same. Yeah. And the doors were unlocked. Yeah. And we were like, "You guys want to go explore?" And we went through every door that wasn't locked, and we just spent 45 to 60 minutes just going through a building, and
Yeah.
that's fun.
Yep.
It made me think it's too bad we can't do that as adults, because now we'd get arrested. But wouldn't it be,
I know.
wouldn't it be sort of fun to like sneak into like Austin Public Library
Yeah.
after hours and have the whole place to ourselves, and not to destroy, just to be like, is there a secret tunneling system that the employees use to get around? And
Well, I mean, you could do it. I mean, I see plenty of YouTubers that go and hide in like a Walmart or something like that, or whatever, like Target, something that shuts down. They like build a little fort and then they shut down, and then they run out and go run around. And I think I saw one recently, like a Best Buy. Someone did it at Best Buy, but
you want to do this with me at the Moody Center?
I don't know. If
We're gonna have to cut this out,
I don't know.
or do it before January 10th.
Well, what does Moody? I'm sure Moody Center probably doesn't even. Well, the thing about it was easy with SPAC is because it was like at a park, so like you blend in with normal people just walking in the park. Moody's theater and center and stuff or whatever. Like I don't know if they would. I don't know if you could blend in very easily. But
Excuse me. Sorry. That's why people stay for the belches.
Yeah, man, that was I did all sorts of little adventures like that. I'm trying to remember another one. Did something else. Oh, yeah. And like, I could tell you about the one time I got suspended in high school.
Yeah.
It's kind of stupid. It's nothing crazy. I literally just got on the bus, went to school, and there was a McDonald's across the street from our school. And so me and some friends, we had study hall first period, which, do you guys, you
Yep.
study hall? Yeah,
Yep.
okay. So it's literally just extra period to do whatever you need to do.
Yep.
And classic me, that was my sleep time. So I had nothing to do. Even if I really should have been doing something, I never did. I would just sleep. So me and my friends decided to go to McDonald's. And so we went in there, got our McDonald's, we walked, and we came back, and the person in the front, like the front desk person, was like, you had to like check in after, like once the first bell rings and stuff, then you have to start checking in. And she's like, why are you late? I'm like, I was like, I was just at McDonald's. I'm like, whatever. And there was like 4 of us. And she's like, McDonald, like, were you already here? We're like, yeah. But we just went across and then we came back. Hello, we're here.
Hello.
We didn't leave. And turns out that's a big problem. Little did I know. Once you're on a school bus, you're technically like under their supervision. So they're responsible for you. And so since we crossed the public road, we walked off school property, which is a big liability for the school. Because if we got hit by a car,
Your parents could sue the school.
they could sue the entire district. They could take them down. So yeah, that was a big no-no. And yeah, we got suspended for 3 days, I think. In school suspension. So not even out of school. It was in school. So I had to sit in a freaking dark, gloomy back room in the office with 9 other delinquent kids. Because I'm so delinquent for going to get a McGriddle at 7:30 in the morning after getting on the bus. But if I drove at the time and drove to the McDonald's and then showed up late, it would have been fine. But it was just because I was already on school property and then walked off.
And during
That
those
was it.
3 days in the back office with the other 9 kids, did you guys basically just sit and stare at the wall?
Yep. They would give us work to do. And, but they would give you the teacher would give them the in-school suspension people the work that they were doing throughout the day, but like you missed the lesson, so I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm just like kind of filling it out to my best ability, and If it wasn't, it was. But like, I didn't care. Like, it was. I think that one I was doing like geometry and stuff. I was like, okay, I'm just drawing circles and now like, if I need a problem answered, and I might get some slack on this, but if I need a geometry question answered, I just go to Grok or ChatGPT and go, what's the circumference of this? And it will tell me.
Was AI out when you were in high school?
No. But
Okay.
like now,
But the internet was.
but it's always like, oh, you're gonna need this if you are trying to like build something in your house or measure this, or geometry is important if you need to figure out the radius and diameter of a circle or something, or just it's important because blank, like that. Whatever answer. And it's like, now I'm like, well, I just ask my phone now.
Yeah.
And it spits me out the correct answer, and I just do it, and like, yeah, it's good to know how to do it without relying on that. I get it, and I feel like I could get by without it, but I don't got time for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like I said, I like to be a creative in the industry person. I don't want to, waste time figuring out how to draw a perfect circle or mess with triangles or name a right angle triangle versus an equilateral triangle. Who cares? Like, I don't. I'm sorry. I know some people might care, but I don't.
Here's a potentially hot take.
Sure.
I think in-school suspension is the dumbest form of discipline.
Yep.
And here's why. So you're in there for 3 days. So that's 3 days worth of class that you're missing. So now when the student gets out of the suspension, you feel behind when you already probably felt behind. You also got taken away from your sense of community because you're not with all of your friends in class and you're not going to recess. And it's becoming more and more important, especially now with phones, that kids are in recess playing, talking, doing whatever it is that you want to do with your free time in between classes. And I feel like it's the most effective way to stunt a kid's growth is to say, hey, go sit in this room for 3 days.
Yeah.
There's got to be a better form
honestly,
of...
Well, you know me. I've kind of grown out of it as I've gotten older, but I was always a very introverted, quiet kid. Like, hated getting called on in class. So for me, I was like, this is great. Like,
well, from the student's perspective, I see what you mean. But from a practical perspective of if we're setting, especially for a kid like you who's saying, how low can I get my grade?
Yeah,
that
that's
seems
just one way to do it.
Like it's the worst punishment on this from the student or from the parent and the administrator's perspective. Why would they do that to you?
Yeah. Well, my dad would be the first to say that, like, he thinks that I just got screwed over by the entire schooling system just because I was in school during a time that they were changing all the curriculum. Like, it was first, way back in elementary. So it was originally like when I was in preschool or whatever, I did like they do like that test to see if you should stay back another year.
Yep.
Well, it came out that I probably should have stayed back a year, and I would have ended up being in Amaya's grade. But I went in it because I was an August kid, so I was one of those that could go now or wait a year, and I went now, and so that was like one thing when I probably shouldn't have. And then in third grade, we had a something happened with I think there was like some kind of mold issue in the school that they had to close the school down for an entire year to fix, and we got transported to a completely different school in third grade with different teachers and different curriculum, and then went back to the original school in fourth grade and fifth grade. And then in middle school, that's when they started like 1 year was one thing, and then they started trying to incorporate the Common Core mathematics, where it's like, okay, here's how you get the answer, but you also need to know these 3 other ways to get the same answer and why each one works. Like, and it was like, whoa, like that for my brain, like, just if I get the answer, that's the answer. Like, that's all I care about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't necessarily, for most things, especially with math, I don't care how it works. If it spits out the right number, I'm happy. That's it. But like, it was at a time where they were like, okay, this is how you do it, but this is also how you do it. And so like, I would come home and try and do the homework, and I would struggle so bad. And then my dad would teach me the way that he knows how to do it, which is the way that it's been for hundreds of years. But now there's this new way, and you'd get penalized if you didn't do it that way. So I would end up just like crying out of frustration because my dad's telling me this is the way it's done, and I'm learning in class a completely different way and 4 other ways that I'm supposed to be doing it, despite getting the same answer. And so my parents would always like battle with the school and be like, what the hell? So there was a lot of that, and then I think they stopped. Maybe they still do it. I don't know. I think they stopped kind of pushing that Common Core mathematics, and it might have just been a New York State thing. I don't know if it was across the board or what, but I think they stopped doing it around 12th grade for me, like as soon as I get out. And then like the next year they started like upgrading the school. Now they have coffee bars, and you can like, I'm like, what? Like, I would have loved school if I could go get coffee in the morning.
Fuck yeah.
But like, no, like my school was just kind of like just felt like a prison. I was like, yeah, and I was just like very introverted and shy and didn't have very many friends, and dabbling in things I probably shouldn't have, like marijuana and drinking with not so good peers, and just all the stupid stuff that you don't want your child to be doing. I was doing because I did not want to do any of the things that I was told to be doing, and then I was being told I was doing it wrong if I did. And I was like, that was why I hated high school so much. So, yeah.
Sorry, Toa.
No, that's
I don't
good,
think
man.
you'll mind me saying this, but one time we were talking about like forming better habits and whatnot, and Tyler made a comment to me that I thought was hilarious, where he said, yeah, my drinking days stopped at 18, give or take. And I just thought that was one of the, it's not uncommon. Most of my friends started drinking when they were like 11, 12, 13. But it's just such a funny thing to hear someone say out loud.
I would say, yeah.
Because to give the audience some context, you drink very infrequently and moderately. Like even on when we did our Friendsgiving a couple days ago, we poured some champagne with dinner, and I don't think you had any, did you? Like you had a little bit in the afternoon with the stuff I brought, but
I had your bourbon creamer stuff with
that was
some
it.
coffee
The entire day, I think, wasn't it?
That was it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just not a. Like I'll have like a Moscow Mule or a mojito every now and then, but like I'm not like a big beer drinker. Like sometimes I'll have a beer, but I don't know. It's just I'm kind of over it.
Yeah.
I felt it just feels crappy. Like I feel crappy, and if you overdo it, then the next morning you feel crappy and then don't want to do anything. I don't know. I'm in I got it out of my system early, and I don't really feel the need to want more of it. So, and that's kind of like with everything. Like same with like weed, or I used to vape a lot. Same, like I just like cold turkeyed all of it at once, which apparently that's like unheard of, but that's what it worked for me. I don't know. I just stopped. I just made the conscious decision to just not do it anymore, and it's been going good. And then like moderation, I guess, is fine. But yeah, it has to be like a special occasion for me to have like a drink of that caliber. It's like 2 or 3 or 4, but to where I'm feeling like buzzed. But yeah.
You know, I think a night that you're gonna get buzzed is when we do our first live episode in front of like 1,000 people. We're gonna go have a drink together that night, or maybe we won't. Maybe we'll both be so far removed from alcohol that we'll go out for a drink, but it'll just be fucking.
Well, even like when I'm playing a show and stuff, like even after then you, like that to me, like that's where I get my like that rush of dopamine is like after a show, and I just like alcohol doesn't do that for me, or any other substance than like getting off stage after a really good show. And if anything, like that's my drug of choice is the dopamine rush of after a show. So I hope you feel that. Were you ever like in theater, like growing up or anything? Like, did you ever do any like plays or anything?
Well, I did. You know when I. So yes, in a way, I was in a band for a church.
Yeah,
and we were, dude. Not to toot my own horn,
yeah.
I wish so bad that we actually recorded an album that never got mixed and released.
Really?
And I wish it did, because I would have loved for you to be able to listen to a song or two, and been like, that was you.
Yeah.
And I even know what song I would play you. It was called Fight Through Praise.
Yeah.
And it was sort of the song about worshiping God, even when you weren't in the mood. Or if you didn't, sometimes it's going to church and being engaged in your religion is a fight. And I'm going to do this because it's the right thing to do.
Right.
And it was a piano heavy song. And it sort of had it was like, imagine if you mixed like rock with jazz a little bit.
Cool.
And it was my favorite song to play. The worship team got sick of it because I wanted to play it every Sunday. Yeah. And they were like, no, we did it the last 3 Sundays. And I was like, but we need to play it because there's going to be someone in the audience and it's going to get them, it's going to change their life and they're going to meet Jesus. And but so there's a long way of answering your question. But yes, I have done performative type things in front of 600 person crowds before.
And like when you hit that last note, and like the audience roars and you just like that feels so freaking good, man.
Yeah.
Like even if you like have a bad show, you still feel good. Like I'm in Vegas when we were on tour, I was so sick. Like every song I was just like hiding behind my floor drum, just blowing snot out of my face every song. And I was just like, I feel and like up to the point where I had to get on stage, I was just in the back, just on the couch, just
I feel like when you get sick, you get big sick. Like you're incapacitated.
Yeah.
You fall off the face of the earth until you're feeling better.
Yeah.
So that's crazy that you powered through a show when you were
sick.
sick.
Have to, dude. It's like these people have been waiting months to see you, or in some cases years if we haven't ever played the city. And it's like you kind of owe it to them to show up no matter the situation. So at the end of the day, like I just do the bare minimum I need to do. I don't do anything crazy. I just get through it one song at a time, hope nothing goes wrong, and we made it. Yeah, it's that was my mom was at that show and she could tell. She was like, "Oh, you were not feeling pretty good." And I was like, "Yeah, no. That was rough." Oh, and we had a VIP meet and greet that night too, and I just remember just trying to like, because I don't want to get anybody else sick, so I took a shower beforehand, like really try to like clean myself off, and and then I just like kind of try to keep my distance, but without being like too like, oh, stay away from me. Like I didn't want to be like too. I was just like, I'm just feeling a little under the weather, I was feeling a lot under the weather. I felt like death, but made it. We powered through, and it was all good. And then Austin ended up just going to play. There was an old piano in the back, next to the green room, and he played like a song on it, and I was like, oh, thank God. And I just went and took a little nap before the show while the other bands were playing, and went out there and did my thing. Yeah, and all went well. But yeah, it was that was a rough show. But even after that, when you're feeling like death, it still feels good. And then that energy, like that energy, I'm able to, like, even though it's like ends up being like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. in the morning by the time we finally load everything out, like, I'm still feeling good by the end of it, because we're our own roadies right now. Like, we don't have, like, we have like 2 people that we bring out with us to help us with everything, but we're all loading out and loading in and setting up and doing the sound check. So it's not like, like a situation that we just roll up to the venue and everything's already set up for us and we just get to go. Like, that'd be great when that day comes, but it's quite a ways away from that. But yeah, that's so it's not only like the work of playing the show and all that exertion, but also the setup and the teardown of it all. It's like a lot. So having that like dopamine rush and that rush helps fuel the last little hour and a half of loadout for me. And to me, I'm just like, I don't want to ruin that. By drinking a bunch and partying, and it also, it comes down to like the venues want you out too, because then they're people, they can't leave until you leave. So I just like to be accommodating, and for my body and for other people. So
Before we segue into music, I don't think I told you, but I went on a date last Saturday.
Oh,
and
nice.
It went okay, but I'm not going to see him again. But I bring it up because at one point during the conversation, I forget what I said, but he followed up by saying, "When's your birthday?" And I said July 30th, and he's like, "Yeah, that tracks. You're giving off very big Leo energy right now." And so the next morning, I woke up, got my coffee, got back in bed with precious Thad over there. But I started chatting with ChatGPT that morning because I thought, you and me and him are 3 wildly different people. And I'm not big into astrology, but I think it's funny just to look it up sometimes and play around with it and see what it says.
Yeah.
And so when I asked about you, I didn't put in too much about you. I basically just said, I have a friend, here's his birthday, we're extremely different, and then I described a few things about you. And it basically said, I'm not going to read all of it, but a little summary, and I'm curious how much you agree or disagree with this. It says that you have quiet Leo energy. You're not outwardly flashy. You have a strong Virgo influence, meaning you're logical, detail-oriented, and observant. You're very detail-oriented. You typically have a small friend circle. You're picky, slow to trust. You take loyalty very seriously. You don't really care about being socially expansive. You don't give affection easily, not because you don't feel it. You actually feel it a lot. But you can get uncomfortable being emotionally exposed. And then let's just do one more, and I'll let you respond.
So far, you're nailing.
Yeah,
it on that.
It did a good job.
Chat has got me figured out. That's scary.
And then actually, I'm gonna give you 2 more because these are both maybe the most important ones. You judge yourself harder than anyone else would, and that you tend to isolate when you're hurting because you don't want to burden anyone. You may feel ashamed or disappointed in yourself. You think you need to fix your emotions privately, and you don't want anyone to see you in a messy state. And then it made a note where it says, I'm the opposite, and you know this because I've literally asked you to come over and been like, I'm sad, I need a hug, will you come hang out with me? So I people like me will more so literally reach out to people and say, I want to feel wanted, whereas you will say, I'm going to withdraw because I'm not worthy of being around people until I get myself right. What do you think about those last 2? or any of them?
So
any of them?
I would say not so much on the judgy part. I'm not very judgmental on myself. As far as I know, like maybe, I mean, we all have like some, I guess, oh, my hair looks weird today, or like some stupid thing like that, but that no one else would ever pick up on, or, oh, I'm looking a little round today for bloated, like, whatever. Like, it might come up from time to time, but it's literally just like, yeah, whatever, no one cares. I'm working in my studio today anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll just drink more water today and it'll be fine. So maybe, but the last one, yeah. that's me all day. Yep. I I bury myself in work. That's what I do. That's my coping mechanism, which is probably isn't. I mean, we say, oh, is there ever really like a good way to cope? Like, you bury yourself in, like, for me, it's burying myself in work, working a lot, doing a lot, but like I'm not like coping by drinking or doing hard drugs to feel something, or like I'm not doing any like thing detrimental per se to my body, but I'm also like only doing it to like, I guess, escape my feelings. Like, is there really a good way to like
Well, I'll give you
confront your feelings?
I'll give you one example of a good way is that when I came over to your place on January 29th, we had a very deep conversation.
Yeah.
And when I left that night, I felt like a literal weight was off my shoulders because there's something that I'm not ready to talk about publicly yet.
Yeah.
But I'd been keeping it in for about 5 months. And the only people that knew were people that had to know, for lack of a better term. And so you were the first person that I trusted with that. And I remember when I was driving to your place, even though it was you, I was terrified. I don't know if you sensed it at all when we first started talking about it, when you were in the kitchen making our mochas. But I was so scared. And there is something very liberating about just like, another person knows.
Yeah.
And what helped a lot was you were very non-judgmental, because I think I told you one of my fears was going to be that you would not even want to be associated with me anymore. And you didn't have that reaction at all. So I think that maybe this is a Leo thing. But I think what I'm trying to get at is, if you know yourself well enough, you probably do have a good coping mechanism. The trick is finding it. So for me, it was almost like confessing, right? I got to get it out there.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there is something for you, and maybe you just haven't necessarily found it yet.
Maybe. Like, I do hear what you're saying, like and I can relate to that, like, of like getting it out and stuff and telling somebody else. I guess it would just be like either that person would be Amaya or something like that. Like, but there's never any there's never really a situation that I'm like holding in that much, you know?
Well, I won't go into specifics, but you also had a moment like that with me in July.
Yeah. So
did you feel better by chance after that day? Did that
Yeah.
do anything for you to tell me what you told me?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. It did. Yeah. So yeah, you're all right. See, but like I don't think of that stuff. I just like
one of the most special
like
days
once it's
in
out,
our relationship, and you never.
Well,
think
no,
about
like
that.
I'm kidding. I knew about it,
and
and I knew about yours. But like for me, I'm like, oh yeah, that did happen. And it's kind of like a movie, almost like, oh yeah, like it's like that did happen, but it's like not still actively in my brain, I guess, anymore. It's like because I don't tend to like look back on the past per se. Like once it's
that's nice.
Yeah,
I
like
wish I could do that.
like I don't like there will be things like even just by having this conversation, like there was memories like by you showing me those photos that like sparked, this happened. But like on my day to day, those things aren't like in the back of my head ever. And there's times like I'll be talking to Maya and I'll be like, oh yeah, I did that. Just reminded me, like I did this thing like in high school, and she'd be like, what? Like, how do you forget? Like, it'd be just like some crazy story that I've never told her, and she'd be like, how do you not just like remember that? And I'm like, I don't know, but like the thing that you just said sparked it in my brain, and I went, oh yeah, that happened. And like it could be like a really funny thing, it could be a really terrible thing, but like my reaction to it is always the same. It's like, oh yeah, that happened. And it's like, cool, moving on. Like it, like that. There's no like, at least for me, like there's no like emotional trauma attached to it, I guess. If it is like a bad thing, like, or a shocking thing, it's like, it's just kind of like, yeah, that happened. Now I'm here.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to make things. I'm trying to like do right, you know.
Yeah.
So, but not because I did that thing. I'm just like, it's like a feeling, I guess. It just, this feels right, you know, like what I'm doing now feels right. So I just focus on that rather than ways I felt a year or two ago, or because it doesn't matter at this point. Like, it just, who do you want to be? Who do you aspire to be? Go after that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm a weirdo, but
We're all weirdos.
yeah, we all got our thing, I guess. So
On the work thing, that's a tricky one. Using work as a coping mechanism,
yeah,
because in some ways, if you're not letting your emotions process because you're burying yourself in work, it might compound into something bad. But on the flip side of the coin, I almost think sometimes, and I'm saying this with much exaggeration, my life was never in danger. I almost feel like the podcast saved my life in a way, because during those 5 months, it was like, well, I have one of two choices. I can either stop the podcast because I'm not in the mood,
right,
or I can keep going with my commitment that every Saturday I'm going to release an episode. So I had to keep booking guests. I had to keep recording.
yeah,
And in some ways, I think that by staying productive, it gave me a sense of like purpose. Like I still have something to give to the world. I
yeah,
look at every episode as like a gift that I'm trying to give to the community.
yeah,
And so by having something to focus on, I feel like it also in a way like kept me sane.
yeah,
Where, you know, it takes up about 10 hours a week, the podcast does.
sure,
So if I didn't have that, that would have been 10 hours that I could have just been stewing in negative emotions.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so again, it's a tricky one. Some people, that could be very bad advice to be like, oh, you're dealing with something, go work, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But for me, it was almost like a solution to my problems.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I feel. It's like in high school and stuff, I felt like I was like always like trying to like get people to like be on board with what I was doing and be like, yo, like this is like girlfriends or my dad, or just being like, oh, like this is real. Like, I promise it's real. Just let me do it. And like, I just came to realize that it's just a waste of energy, like altogether, because like, just do it and do it for you. Like, cause like, and then because people, I've always said, because I even had a guidance counselor in school tell me that, like being a musician is not a real career. And I was like, oh, really? And like my immediate thought process was like, well, did you drive? You drove here, right? And, yeah. I was like, okay. Well, did you listen to the radio? Yeah. I was like, okay. Well, like, great. Well, that's their job. There's people in the world that do this as a job. Why can't I? Because I go to Boston Spa High School. Yeah, I'm calling you out. Boston Spa High School. And it's like, it's just like trying to convince me, oh, why don't you like open a music shop or something, like music business. I was like, and like now, like to run a music store, like so much more potential to fail
Yeah.
than releasing music and going down that road. Like, but yeah, I don't know. I've always just been like, this is what I want to do, and this is the road. I just try and like learn everything I can, do it myself, and I think that's why like it comes like I talk to you about it all the time, like how I still get frustrated feeling like I do everything for growing this stuff and do a lot of stuff, and I was like, I always wish I had like people to, or robots even, to like do some of the stuff. And we're getting close with the AI
Yeah.
thing, and that has been a huge help to like do some of the really mundane tasks that nobody wants to do. But like that, even just that, it's like, oh, I wish I had somebody to do this or do that. Like 9 times out of you'd just be quicker to just do it, just shut up and do it, than complain about it for a half hour. And so like, yeah, I and trying to like get that. I'm not in that mentality right now with things like the gym right now, because have this album deadline to meet, and like, so like I'm trying to find the balance. I guess that's my biggest issue with what I do, is the balance between personal life and business life. Because right now I'm just like, everything that I'm doing, like the second I get home, right, what I'm gonna do is work more on the album.
Yeah.
Like, and so balance is something that I'm trying to achieve, at least in this next year.
Yeah.
So after the album's done, and I guess album time is always kind of like this, where it's just like it's the center of my attention, because I'm doing all the mixing, all the editing, all the recording, all the mastering, well, actually we might have a mastering engineer come on board, so that might be cool. But everything else, and we do all the videos, like it's all in-house. So yeah, would it be nice to have like a team of people to like find, hey, we need editing done, and know that it's gonna be done right, and that kind of thing. But like we've sent out stuff to be mixed before or edited, and it's never right, and then we're just spending more time trying to fix it, and it's just like, it's just quicker if we just do it ourselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really know how that came up, but that's where it ended up. But
Well, I will say to the audience real quick, you should go check out The Broken View. They just had a new single come out called Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
And to Tyler's point, it's crazy because I do, like when the Man of Tomorrow music video came out, I watched it and it looks like it was professionally done. And that's
Yeah.
not a dig on you. I'm not saying you are not a professional at your craft, but it's crazy to see something like, I'll shout out one of my favorite bands because I'm not trying to insult them. I'm a huge fan, but I watch like a Linkin Park music video,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then I'll go watch a Broken View video, and it's the same quality. And it's like, this is,
yeah.
and
Close.
maybe you don't think it is
Yeah.
because you're, self-critical or whatever.
Yeah,
but like,
sure.
I think they're very, like, these are not, to think like a couple guys went to a warehouse and filmed a song, and then they edited it, and they got this product out there. Like it's a high quality product. Like it's great music, great lyrics.
Thank you.
Well done music videos. And to your point, it is all done by you guys. Maybe you outsource a teeny bit here and there, but I've literally come over to your place and worked on the podcast, and you're working on your stuff. And you guys, you do it all.
Yeah. And that came from, so our very first music videos were shot on our iPhone, actually.
Was The Fall one of those?
The Fall was the first video ever.
It's my favorite song, guys. I know it's one of the
Yeah.
oldest, but I just fucking love that song.
That was a fun one.
It's done on your iPhone, huh?
That was done on Austin's iPhone 8. Yeah. And we bought a gimbal to make it nice and steady, and the original plan was just to like film some stuff for like social media, and we got my drum kit in there and put like the backdrop up and had the lights. We're like, we could probably just do a video, because we got quoted like $4,500 to do a video. And at the time, we were just like, well, we don't have that money. We're like two broke college kids, basically. Like, we don't have that kind of money to drop on a video. And, yeah, so we just, like, okay, well, what do we have? And we had some, my dad had the Adobe suite, so we had Premiere Pro to edit and stuff. And, yeah, the only thing that we bought was the gimbal. And that was it. And we just put it up, and we filmed each other. He did me, and I did him. And then we were like, well, we should probably find somebody to play guitar and bass. And so we just asked our friends who weren't even in the band to just noodle on, play the parts. And we filmed them and put it all together and figured out how to edit and color and all that stuff. And I mean, we're still learning that. Like, I'm trying to, like, that's my next thing I'm trying to learn is professional color grading.
I'm an amateur, obviously, but even it's so hard.
It's an art, man. It's especially so we use what's called raw footage, so that there's no color. You have to add your color in. Like here, like when we're recording right now, like this, like the curtain's red, the backdrop's white. Like raw footage is just flat, so it's like, okay, you have to like basically tell it what kind of color you want, and different color can evoke different emotion, and especially when we do our like short films and stuff, that's why a lot of it looks cold and dark and contrasty and moody, because it's like
Very
that's
much
kind of
so.
like that's kind of the vibe. So, but like like when we did the Halloween night stuff, like the opening scenes and stuff are very light and bright and orange and colorful, and but what's funny is like like the scene of Amaya running down the street with the homeless guy and all those trees behind her.
Yep.
Like we made it look like fall. Those were all green. There was not a fall leaf in there, but like I was able to make it look like it was fall. And so like just knowing how to do that was my most recent like lesson in color grading, I guess, is doing that kind of thing. And so, but then I watched like a professional color grader color, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's like, I don't even know half of it. I'm just like it makes me like, I know enough to like get by, but I couldn't tell you the terminology or codec versus this codec or what this does versus that. It's mainly like it makes me look like I'm just like moving faders randomly and go, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Which I mean, that certainly happens too, where I'm like, oh, just move this one, see what happens. But yeah, I'm always trying to learn something new. But yeah, I mean, it all stemmed from not being able to afford to have a professional do it, so we just did it ourselves, and then that turned into, like, when we started generating money and income, we were like, well, we could spend $4,500 on one video, or we could just spend that $4,500 on the same camera that they use, and then we can make all of our videos. And so we just bought the camera that most music video directors use, and I've been making videos with that ever since. So it started with the iPhone, and then my mom's DSLR camera, and then I think after Start Over, because that's when we finally had like our big break, I guess. We were able to afford a really nice cinema camera, so, and then with a bunch of lenses, and so, and now we're diving into making movies and stuff, and that's been fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots to learn still.
So much.
Yeah.
There's a guy coming on, hopefully, in January, who is thinking about starting a podcast. And I think he sees setups like this and gets overwhelmed by it, because he's like, oh my God, it's so much. I'm like, well, dude, you made this exact comment earlier. Like, it's actually very simple. Like, if you're just looking to just start and you have a laptop, I can get you up and running for like $250.
Yeah.
And I can, not paid to me, but in an equipment investment. And I really hope he takes me up on my offer, because I'm like, you don't have to use DaVinci. You don't have to get the arm mics. Like, if you just want to start to explore this interest and then decide, okay, I did 10 episodes. Am I leaning into this, or am I wasting my time? I can help you do that. This is the max. Like, we're doing so much.
This isn't even the max, but like, this to me,
well, not the max, but
like, we talk about like Diary of CEO and stuff. Like, that's
the
getting the
max.
max,
Yeah.
man. Or Women's
Modern Wisdom
with
Chris Williamson.
Yeah. Like, that's like, this to me, this is like, I would say intermediate setup.
Yes. Okay.
But
then
like
yes.
beginner, you could set up just on the phone, man. Like you could edit a
Right.
full podcast, film it, edit it, everything on your phone. You don't even need a laptop anymore.
That's true.
Like,
yeah.
and it's like crazy how quickly that's come about. Because I remember starting out, even just like, how long has it been? 6 years? 7 years that we started this thing, and I always wanted like a video editor on my phone because there was like so many like Instagram video things that I wanted to make early on, or like countdowns, and like it just wasn't a thing yet. And like now you can just edit a whole video on your phone with CapCut or edits by Instagram and stuff, and they got a full freaking, I think even Adobe has like their whole Premiere editor on there and stuff. Like you can do so much with just a phone. And so yeah, I mean, if he wants to start a podcast, like, and you don't even need any fancy lights, just find a window,
Yep.
set up next to it,
Yep.
and like that's it. Like
Yeah.
you just, or you don't, even if you don't even need necessarily for a podcast the video aspect of it. Like that's something that's like recently new. Like a podcast previously has just been like a radio show. You just listen.
Yeah.
But like the video thing has become a popular thing with social media and stuff. But like if you just wanted to do a podcast, you just record a voice memo on your phone now
Yeah.
and upload it. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
So to your friend, start it.
He should.
Just
I'm gonna try to strong arm him into doing it because
And if
why
he's
not?
got a little bit of budget he would like to spend on it, like, yeah, there's options for it. Like from somebody who's just starting out with, who has a small budget, or if you want to go all out, like there's stuff from low to high. So
on the opposite side of that, there's a guy here in Austin who wanted to start a podcast, and he does have some money to burn,
yeah,
but he's renting a studio, and depending on the length of the episode, I think he said he's paying anywhere from $450 to $800 per episode.
yeah.
And no judgment or anything. Like in a
No.
way, I'm jealous of that because he literally just gets to show up and record.
Yeah.
He doesn't, you and me spent, mainly you, if I'm being honest,
Yeah.
you spent 3 hours on the laptop last night tinkering. He
Yeah.
never has to do that. And that's
Sure.
the trade-off, right?
Right.
If you have money to burn, you can just go do it.
Sure.
But I also told him, he was asking me about my setup. And I was like, the thing about the setup is it's a pain. And you would have to dedicate like a bedroom of your house to it or something.
Exactly.
However, what costs him, what he pays for 10 episodes, I pay for 100.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Right. Yeah.
And he could even hire someone like you to come do the computer stuff if he doesn't want to fuck with that.
Yeah.
And maybe that's another, if the guy charges $150 an hour or whatever, maybe that's another $900 he has to invest into it.
Yeah.
But he did tell me the cost is killing him. He's like,
Yeah.
every episode, I'm just thinking about that dollar sign. I'm like, fuck me. And it
Yeah.
looks good. I've shown
Yeah.
it to you. It's a really clean look. It's
Yeah.
4K. It looks wonderful.
Yeah.
But it's so expensive to rent those. Like
Yeah.
that's why you guys bought your camera. is
Exactly.
To do it yourself.
It's just like, it just brings your costs lower. Like that's your overhead. Being able to do that, like, yeah, it's a high upfront cost, and then the space, you have to dedicate a space for it, or whatever. But like it does in the long run over time bring your overhead down. So and it's like one thing once you start having like brand deals and sponsorships and constant viewership, there you're really starting to generate income from it. But like if you're still in like those beginning stages, like a lot of podcasts are, and even like musicians and stuff, like keeping that overhead as like low as you possibly can get it is almost critical, to be able to keep doing it and to at least get to the point where, because you've been doing, this is 150th episode, like you've gotten you're closing in on your 10,000 hours, like they say, like in order to be a professional, 10,000 hours is like the bar of doing something, or before you're like a pro. And so like you're well on your way there, and it's like, if you had like this $800 episode cost, like, could you even say that you'd make it to 150 episodes?
Yeah, I mean,
Probably not.
unless you're someone like a Dak Shepard, one of my favorite
Yeah.
podcasters, who's, I'm sure he's rich, and he's married to Kristen Bell. I'm sure
Sure.
she's rich.
Yeah.
But even Dak self-produces, and
Yeah.
money's not a factor for him.
Yeah.
He
Well,
does
that's-
it all
yeah,
himself.
Yeah. Well, because that's one. I love doing this stuff. So
Me
like
too,
I'll
yeah.
I don't care like how much. Like obviously like it'd be nice to do like something like at least in the audio world, like for album stuff. Like it'd be nice to send stuff off for editing and get it back all nicely cleaned and prepped. And I've actually being here and working with other engineers and stuff. Like there are a few people that I've started to consider being like, oh, let's see how that would go. But even then, I'm still like hesitant. I'll just be like, oh, I'd just rather do it just to keep again the overhead low. But yeah, it's like just. Yeah, I'm always just like use what you got. I guess like just use what you got, and then just the worst thing to do. And going back to like my teacher that had like an impact on me, David. He was like the first one because I kind of struggled with that. I was like, oh, I need this, I need that, I need this in order to make a record or make a video or something. I need all this fancy equipment that it was just so out far of my budget. And he was like, no, you actually don't. And watch. And we like, that's like how we didn't learn on like $1 million consoles in school. Like it's just basic, affordable recording gear. And like, yeah, they had like some nice microphones or preamps or compressors that they would bring in every now and then, like, but it wasn't anything crazy. We all had a little tiny laptop that was provided to us that was probably less powerful than what you're running here, and it worked just fine and it did the trick. Wasn't anything flashy. And then they would teach us on Windows and then Mac on the second half, so we knew both operating systems because they run a little differently. And yeah, I mean, I was just super. That kind of like set the foundation for like, oh, you know what? I don't need to invest thousands and thousands of dollars to make this stuff work. So
Yeah.
just needs a little time to. Which I guess I've always kind of been like that because growing up, I always wanted TV in my room. My dad, when they built.
I love this story. If
Oh,
you're going
yeah,
where I think you're going.
Yeah, my dad didn't want us to have TVs in our room, like cable TV, because he was like, oh, well, I want you to like focus on your homework and not be playing video games or watching TV in your rooms. I want you to be working on schoolwork. And so he only allowed like Ethernet connectors for the internet to be in each of our bedrooms. And so I found out about antenna TV, which is those younger kids who don't know. It's literally just those needles that stick up in the antennas. The antennas that stick up out of old TVs, and you can plug it in and you get free service. Well, I made a makeshift antenna out of a coaxial cable and tinfoil. And I just stuck some tinfoil rods on the end of a coaxial cable and plugged it in, and it worked great. But it didn't get me any cartoons. It gave me like CBS and NBC and all the boring adult channels that nowadays because I have the same setup behind my TV now. I have a makeshift antenna made out of tinfoil because it works. And now I get like all the football games and stuff. But back then I wanted like SpongeBob and Teen Titans and Cartoon Network, like shit like that. And so I was like, well, I'm going to need cable TV. And so my grandmother moved in with us when I was in high school. and she moved into my oldest sister's bedroom when she moved out of college, or she moved to college, and then she ultimately moved away. But my dad, for my grandmother, he installed cable TV in her room, and it clicked. I was like, you can do that? You can just install cable TV in any room? And so I figured out how to do that, and I basically went up in the attic, because I had I think my mom took my grandmother to a doctor's appointment, and my dad was working, so I was home alone for like 2-3 hours or so. And so I snuck into my parents' room, brought in a ladder. I climbed up into the attic. They had like that little attic access point in their closet. So I climbed up there. I saw the wire that my dad ran, and I was like, oh, perfect. And so what I did, I saw that there was like a splitter already attached. So I just basically just tapped into that, ran a cable, ran it to my room, drilled the hole through my ceiling, stuck it down there, and then I plugged it in, and sure enough, it worked like a charm. And I still kept my antenna, tinfoil antenna, up, so they would think that I was getting TV from the antenna, when in reality, at that point, I was getting 128 channels of digital cable and TV, and I had my cartoons and WWE. So
yeah. You just made me remember one of my hacks when I was a kid. This is not as technical as your story just was, but there is one year where I found out that you can pop the screen off your window. And so I would sneak out of the house by just going through my window. But then my parents installed an alarm system, not because of that, but just for safety purposes.
Sure.
So during the winter time, when me and my friends wanted to go out, I would tell them that I run really, really hot. And it's true, I do. Like, even right now, I have it set for 66 in here.
Yeah.
I was so glad you wore a hoodie, because I was like, it might be too cold in here for you, but for me, like, I'll be comfortable. But I run really hot. I think a lot of guys do. And so I would tell them, we can't set the alarm tonight because it's wintertime, and I need to be able to crack my window, or I won't sleep at all, because you guys keep it fucking 72, and I need my room to be at 65. And so they'd say okay, and they wouldn't set the alarm, and I would pop open my screen, and me and my friend Annie and my friend Danny would go out, and we would go reindeer stacking, which is where you take the fake reindeers that people put on their lawns, and you'd put them in sexual position, so it looks like they were humping each other. And then I'd go back home, and I'd sneak, and I was always so scared that there'd be a night that my parents would be like, oh, let's check on the kids before we go to bed. And they never did. They never checked on, not because they were bad parents or anything, but they just trusted that we were all in our beds, and we were not. Or at least I was not, and Mark probably wasn't either. I'm sure he snuck out, and just knowing his personality, I'm sure he did that.
My my uncles and my dad used to do that to my grandmother with her reindeer. Because they would be the ones that set them up, and she had a huge front yard, and she would have them all over. And they would go out and put them in sexual positions, and she'd get so mad because she couldn't go out and fix it, because she was, older lady, and she had this huge driveway that went up this huge hill, and so all these reindeer were on a hill that she couldn't get to, and they're all just out there, and they're making her. It was so fun. There's a bunch of pictures of that, but I snuck out a few times too. I had my fair share.
You know what would have been funny is actually if me and Mark like accidentally snuck out on the same night and ran into each other. So like if me and Danny and Ann were working on a set of reindeers, and all of a sudden from the bushes we hear like, David? Is that you? And I turn around, I'm like, Mark, what are you doing out here? I'm actually sort of bummed that we never accidentally ran into each other in the neighborhood after sneaking out of our home. That would have been a great story.
So this is pretty funny. My dad and my Aunt Jackie. So my Aunt Jackie, my dad's the youngest, Aunt Jackie's the middle, and my Uncle Kelly is the oldest. So Aunt Jackie's room was the only window that they could sneak out of if they ever needed to sneak out of the house. And my Aunt Jackie, she was she still is. She was a smart woman, because there was a door fee. She was like, you have to pay me, otherwise I'm telling Mom.
Wow.
Yep. And
Aunt Jackie.
so she would let them out, and then she would lock it. And when they came back, they would have to knock and wake them up. And if they didn't pay up, they weren't getting let back in, and she was gonna go get parents. And yeah, there's so many stories like that of she had like this. I think she can still do it. She has like a little gap in between her teeth that when she like can do this, she can like push water out of it like a squirt gun. And she with precision. and I guess she would always do it to my dad at the dinner table. And this was like a time when it was like families ate together and there was like no
back in the 90s
said grace and that whole thing, and she would always spray him get him right in the eye, and he'd be like, Jackie, stop it. And my grandpa Gord would get all, Gavin, shut the hell up. Eat your food. It's like, Jackie's doing it. They'd start bickering, and he's like, Gavin, she would do it again. So
the sound effect with that is perfect.
Yep. And yeah, that's funny.
Well, for the sake of actually getting you out of here at some point today,
can
I ask you some questions about music?
Sure.
And if we do go for a long time, I don't care. I figured at some point we should talk about. I just like 3 or 4 very specific questions I wanted to ask you, and I'm like, if we get these done, then if we do get to a point where you want to end, I'm not like, wait, and you can come back too.
You're
obviously,
good, man. I know we toyed about the idea of doing like a 24-hour podcast.
Maybe we will one day.
We could. I feel like you and I could get it done.
Well, and if we did do that, we could always invite a few people to do like drop-ins.
That'd be crazy.
So we could tell like Austin, come over from 8 to 9. Tom, come over from 3 to 4. And
that'd be crazy.
Just to almost like give us a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
Because that was one thing that was cool about the Christmas episode. That if you're listening to this, it came out about 3 weeks ago. Is having that dynamic with 3 people. It did give me sort of a break where I could like relax
sit back,
a little
let
bit.
them kind of take it a little bit. Yeah,
it was nice. And if we really went for 24 hours, I almost feel like we would have to have that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, what do you got?
All right, so this first one is not specific to the Broken View. I've only asked this question to one person. His name was Brian, and he is a tattoo artist here in Austin, Texas. If you're thinking about getting a tattoo, look him up on Instagram. But this question, I feel like there's no wrong answer, and everyone who it's asked of will probably give a different answer. So first question for you, Tyler, is what is art?
Well, in our most recent song,
art is a lie. That's what came to mind first.
Art is a lie. Nothing is real. Waste my time. I don't want to feel anything. Period.
Art is a lie. Nothing is real. Wildly different answer from Brian.
Yeah.
Brian went really introspective, and you were just like, "Art is a lie." Next question.
No. Jeopardy.
Give it to me, Dave. Next.
History for 500. No, I mean, yeah. I mean, I think that Austin wrote those lyrics. He writes most, or pretty much all the lyrics. Now that one came from for this song specifically. That's like, I guess, like a feeling like, with all the AI stuff coming out, like you not knowing what's real, what's not. It's kind of like a play on that. But for me, I guess art is just I don't know, just creative expression of any kind. I think even doing this is art, Art is whatever. I guess like anything that invokes some kind of an emotion out of you, I guess. I guess it's just a blanket term for an emotional response with anything. I think anything can be art, really.
Can I tell you a quick story?
Sure.
I don't know if I've told you this one yet. It's pretty recent. There is a lady who is named Maya Gray, who is on the podcast.
Okay.
She's probably one of my oldest guests. She's in her 60s. And I read her an intro very similar to yours, where I started it out as a story and then at some point turned it over to this is her. And so I read through the whole intro, and I said, Maya, thank you for everything you brought to the table, and welcome to your episode of David's Saturday Night Sit Back. And for about 5 seconds, I was reading the first couple questions I was going to ask her, and she wasn't saying anything. And then I heard her sniff, and I looked up, and she had put her head down, and she just had tears silently rolling down her face. And this is tears of joy. I'm crying right now.
Yeah.
It was just such a powerful moment to be able to take someone's life and put it into the 75-second story.
Yeah.
And then for her, for whatever reason, it's like her whole life hit her at once. And that was how she responded, was just tears. And that was probably, I can think of like 5 to 10 moments in these 150 episodes that I don't think I'll ever forget, where it will be 5 years from now. And maybe I'll be sitting on a subway in Manhattan, and I'll just be sitting there thinking about that time that Maya just cried, because that's all, that was a response to that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like we're like the paintbrush, and the life is our canvas, you know. You decide where it goes.
Yeah.
So I feel like for her, having that big, and it's until you hear something like that where you kind of get that. I feel like we get so locked into perspective on our day-to-day simple tasks of like, oh, dishes, all this, but like when you really pull back on your life as a whole, people you encounter and meet and have relationships with, it's like, I mean, that in itself, I think, is art.
Especially for her, because like you and me are pretty young, and she didn't realize the level of research I do, and so I brought up stuff in her intro from when she was like 15 to 30 years old. So she probably had some memories unlocked that maybe she hadn't thought of in literally like 40 years.
Yeah, even that you being able to do that is, to me, art. Being able to like pull out all the gritty details of a person, and being able to go from this big picture down to these specific moments, and having them be able to unlock these memories and in these conversations. I mean, that's why I believe in you so much with this whole thing, and I'm willing to help you with all of it, because I don't know of another podcast or even another human that's able to do that. And so that's why I've always said I believe in you.
I appreciate that more than you know.
Of course.
Especially, I think I hesitate to bring this up just because we're going on tangents, but that's what podcasting is. I think that's one of the hardest lessons that I learned, is that no one will believe in this as much as I do.
Yeah.
And you're one of the first people who's really thrown like a lot of support my way. And other people have been supportive as well. Like where they watch the show, they'll re-show the reels. And so for those listening, if they're like, what about me? I'm thinking of you guys too. But I remember in those first 6 months, people wouldn't reshare the reels. People wouldn't tell their friends and family that they were on a podcast. And it was a really brutal awakening. And I'm sure you and Austin have seen this with the Broken View. Even I try to support you guys. If I see you post something, I just like it and reshare it. Because for me, I'm like, whatever. I don't care about my brand. Like, oh, I can't share the Broken View story on my page because that's something else. Like, I don't care. But to get friends like that is so few and far between. In those first 6 to 12 months, when I was so excited that this thing is getting up and running, and I was like, why does no one else care about this?
Yeah. Well, like what I was saying about earlier, it's like I've always said, like, no one wants to believe that the kid sitting next to them in class is going to be like the next thing, big thing, you know, like, and so like, I know what that feeling like is be told, hey, that's not realistic. Don't do that. and like have that on you, and like having no kind of support around you. And it's like, so like for me, I would never be like, oh, don't waste your time, David. Like do it. And then like you've actually established like a real thing that I also believe in, because I think it's a positive message, and it's a unique thing that I don't see anywhere else, and it's real. It's not like fake, you know. Like you have like real raw emotion on this platform that you're building here, and that's really important, especially in this new era of like AI generated stuff. Like people need to connect with one another, and like I think like this is just been a great platform to be able to do that. And yeah, so I'll always support whatever venture you want, as long as you keep it real, honest, and true to you.
Yeah.
So I got you, brother.
I appreciate you, brother.
Of course.
Potentially another memory unlock for you.
Sure.
That hopefully comes back right away. I forget how I learned about this, but at some point you thought you lost the EP to something better. And if that had happened, the broken view may not exist. You were so distraught, you laid on the floor of your parents' home in pure defeat, thinking it was all over. Is this true? And if it is, can you tell us about that night? As much as you might hate to relive this.
Oh
I'm sorry,
God.
but I feel like it's very relevant to anyone that is trying to create something.
Yeah. So to any creator doing anything digital, this was my hard lesson on backups. Have a freaking backup. Like even for you, like you got your hard drive coming, great. Backups. Because you don't want to get through all this and then it's just like bye-bye and it's gone. Like, oh, that would be terrible. So yeah, it is true. We finished the whole thing, pretty much done, all the sessions. Like I had just like built this awesome PC. It's like running great, running smooth. Well, didn't know what solid state disk drives were yet, which is what I had you order the other night. And yeah, so I was just using like an old hard drive, whatever. Well, the thing crapped out. Just blue screen of death. That was what I got. Try to load it up, and I was like, oh no. And try all the recovery options on Windows and stuff, and nothing's working. Like everything I'm trying, and I'm sitting here for hours just trying to figure out stuff. I'm going into the terminal, trying to do some coding nonsense to hopefully get into the hard drive and see if the files are still there, and if they were, then I was going to take it to a store to get it transferred to a new disk and do all this crazy stuff. And long story short, I basically had to put the drive in some kind of, I don't even like, I had to code it into some kind of safe mode or some crappy thing. And then I had to restore it to like the previous month or something on the OS. And so my files were still there, but then when I went back to the OS, luckily something better was there, but I did end up losing a client session and one of our songs that we were working on. But we listen to it now, and it's cool, it's fine, it's whatever, but it's like, it would never be like a Broken View song. It's just something cool to listen to. But, so I only lost 2 things. But that was a very, very scary and sad time when it did happen. And then literally the next day, I bought a backup drive, 2 backup drives, actually. I backed it up to one, and then I backed that one up to another one. And I said, Dad, take this to work, please, because if there was ever a fire, yeah.
Put it in a safe.
Yeah.
6 feet underground.
Yeah.
50
exactly.
feet away from the house.
Exactly. And so now there's like cloud services and stuff, and I can actually, I think it's Backblaze. Good software. I got a referral code for you. I could give a referral code to any of you. You get a month free. Then it's $10 a month. Backs up your whole computer and any files you need on any disk as long as they're plugged in. And it automatically does it. It's great. Wonderful service. Highly recommend. Shout out to Eric Holtz for giving me that little bit of nugget of information. Because he was trying to figure out a good system to back up to. So now it's like, it's good to have like it on an actual hard drive, like a backup, but also having it on a cloud is a nice nugget too. But yeah, it is true. And on the Mend, the song,
Such a good song, by the way. Go listen to it.
on the album On the Mend, a song, not the one, the sound in the beginning of that song, the like boot up sound, is that hard drive that almost screwed us over. So I just recorded it and we put it in the front of the song. And yeah, just because I was like, this would be funny. Because now it sits on it's kind of funny. It's like on display now almost. But it's like in this little hard drive dock that you can like slot hard drives in. So it was in there, and every time it boots up, it makes the and so we put that in the beginning of the song. And yeah, so that is that hard drive that almost screwed us over. So it works okay now, but it was some kind of issue with Windows trying to read off of it. So I got rid of the hard disk drive and I went to a solid state drive, which, but now I'm on Mac. I don't even mess with Windows anymore because Windows just updates whenever it wants. Sorry, Windows. Mac's got you beat by a lot.
Yeah, Windows, don't sponsor me because the next investment will probably be a new laptop.
Yeah.
And it probably won't be Windows. Apple, if you would like to speed up this process and sponsor me, we'll make the update today. Just send me that first sponsorship check and I'll head straight to Best Buy or the Apple store.
Well, what really sold me on it was just when they came out with their M1 chips, and now they're on like M4, but their own processors and stuff. It's just so powerful. Yeah. I was like, for what I was doing and all the video editing and all the music production stuff, like I was like, yeah, it's time. Because I was just running into issue after issue on Windows. Just like, it would be working fine, and then you'd go to power it down, and then it would update automatically, and then nothing would ever work again. And it was like, oh my gosh, like, because... yeah, so I just was like, nope, I'm just going to bite the bullet and get a Mac. And now it's great. I just plug things in, it works, and then I don't have to worry about it updating the next time I turn on my computer, and you can choose when to update. It's wonderful, and you can make sure that all the stuff you have and all the software you have, it's all going to work great when you update, and then perfect. So Apple it is.
Apple it is. For the next question, I have a quick story to tell you to give you some context.
Okay.
When the podcast started, episode 1, you might laugh at this. Episode 1 was me, Tom Barvik, and my ex. And Tom, I had hired off of LinkedIn. I found him. To come basically do what you're doing for me now. Yeah. And because I had no idea. So I was like, I just need someone to come over and just run the episode and then teach me to do what you did so I can keep it going without you being here. Right. So Tom didn't know me at all at the time, and I didn't know him. And after we recorded, he was getting ready to leave, and I said, could I walk you to your car? And he said, sure. And on our way to our car, he said, you know what's really interesting is that I don't know you at all, and I just witnessed a human being for the first time in their life doing exactly what they were put on this planet to do. Wow. It was like the nicest compliment he could have paid me. Wow. So the question is, I feel like all of us have an alter ego of sorts. The Tyler that shows up to his day job is not the Tyler who shows up to dinner with his friends. But I think the most interesting alter ego that you might have is when you're on stage drumming a live show in front of a room full of people. Yeah. Do you feel like you have an alter ego? And if so, can you tell us about him and that version of him?
Yeah, I guess I do. Cause I don't know. Like I'm just very more quiet than
The
no,
drummer.
yeah. I know the drummer is quiet. That's really funny. I never thought of that. Yeah, no. But I'm just like naturally like if I'm at a party, like I'm or gathering or whatever, like I'm totally content by sitting over and having food by myself. Like I don't care if I'm not like in the group or whatever. Like I'm good. Like do your like the same thing with like the drinking thing and like if I'm like the only one not drinking, I'm like I don't care. Like what if you think that's weird, go for it. But and I'm not like judging anybody for doing what they're doing, but you know, I feel like not, I don't feel I know that there's some people that have come through in my life that have come through and like almost been like judgmental, like why is this guy just like chilling in the corner by himself? Like it's like, you know, just stuff like that. And so, but like on stage, like at a meet and greet, I'm like very comfortable talking with my fans and getting to know my fans and talk and signing. And I feel like that version of myself is, I guess, not like the best version, but like the more like outgoing version, I guess. That's like very, I don't know, just more in his element, I guess. Because like I feel like if I'm not in my element, I kind of just am cool with just hanging out with myself and chilling. But in a show setting, I'm like way more like talkative and interactive, and you know, I will at the end of the show, I'll throw my sticks out to the person that I saw screaming the loudest or something like that. And, you know, just I'm a little more like social, I guess. Outside of that, like I don't feel like the need to be social. Like I don't know. Like it just like doesn't. Like I know it's important. Doing this, being with people is important, but it's not like, you know, like some people are like, oh, I just need to go out tonight. I need to go out to a bar tonight. I'm like, I've never been like where I've been like, oh, I need to go out and be around people. Like I don't usually like to be around people. Usually, I'm always just kind of like, I'm cool with doing my own thing. Like if people are there, cool, great. But like, if I'm not like jiving with the atmosphere, I'm just gonna sit and not be like a party pooper by any means. But
No.
I'm just not gonna like engage in something that I don't want to do. So that's just kind of. But when I am feeling like part of something that I want to do, like shows and stuff, I'm very like involved and outgoing, and so I guess that would be my alter ego. So
This is where we are the opposite, because there is a part of me where I have an episode tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock and
yeah,
I've done nothing to prep for it.
yeah,
And a part of me is like, I should stay in and I should prep for this episode.
yeah,
There's another part of me where the second you walk out that front door, I want to text my buddy Isaac, who's a comedian, and say, hey, do you have a show going tonight? Because I'd love to come watch.
yeah.
That's what I'm in the mood for. I would
Yeah.
love to spend my Saturday night at a comedy club.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Whereas you might not have that desire at all.
Yeah. Until you like literally like you'll ask me to go out somewhere and then I'll be like, oh yeah, that would be fun. But like in my day to day, I'm not like, you know, it'd be really fun to like go out and do this or do that. Like the most you'll ever see me do that is like, hey, let's go like walk in a park or something. But like, that's about it. Like I don't really ever have an interest in, or at least take the initiative to like go out and do things other than that. But
Sort of a
Yeah.
spin-off of the alter ego question.
Mhm.
When you are drumming,
Yep.
you got people in the audience, you got lights above you, it's a dark room, you got your headphones in, you're in the middle of a show.
yeah,
Is your mind blank Like what's going through your head over the course of a 60 or 45-minute set?
Well, until I hit the very first note, I am very nervous.
It's very honest of you to say.
Yeah, I am very just like, oh boy, hope nothing goes wrong. And then the second I start playing and get through the first song, it's like, oh, I'm good. And then it turns into like thinking about my day, or like I'm not like actively thinking about drumming. And if I do, then I will mess up.
Really?
Yeah. Like if there's like a like for example, the fall, like the fill in the beginning of the fall. Gotta that one. Very beginning. If I think about that rudiment linear fill of like, okay, I gotta start up here and then do the floor tom and then go over here and then hit the hi-hat. And like if I have to like, I'll make sure if I like think about it too much, I will mess it up. So it's like so ingrained in my body at this point that I just have to trust it and just go. And if I can do that, it'll all go good. And I won't have a single mess up. But the second I catch myself going like, oop, this part's coming up, that's a little tricky. Oh, this one, I will 10 out of 10 times will mess it up. So, yeah. We just have to it just gets to a point where you have to let's trust instinct. And yeah, I also have to remind myself that 9 times out of 10, the people in the audience, as long as you keep playing through it, they're not gonna know.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, most of the time I'm just thinking about, coffee or the next tour stop or a story that someone told me at the VIP meet and greet, or the Maya. He sometimes thinks about her, or Tucker, back home when I get to see them. But like, yeah, it's never about drumming. Otherwise, yeah. And then there was one time, there was in Vegas. Well, I had to focus on this one because we run backing tracks, which for those who don't know, it's like the laptop, that's in the back of the stage, and you hit play, and you got all the tracks running and stuff, and it's usually for like synths and bass drops and effects and harmonies or vocal throws and delays and stuff. But in order for all that to work, all have to be on ears and all on a click track. So it keeps in time. So when like you get to the part of the song with the delay throw, you actually are in time with the everything else. So we're all on ears and click tracks and stuff. And so my in-ear mix, for me personally, I got the metronome really loud, and then my drums moderately in there, and then the actual recorded song, because I can't listen to, because Austin will do different things live, like with his vocal runs and stuff, and it will throw me off.
Huh.
Yeah, so I can't hear any of Austin, and then or otherwise it throws me off, or like he'll do call outs to the audience. So I just listen to like what's on Spotify. That's what's playing in my ears with my drums. And then I have it so it's set, so I have like my belt pack, so it's at a comfortable level at like half volume. So if the tracks ever go out, I can just turn up my belt pack, and I got everybody else really low, so that when I turn it up all the way, now everyone else in my ears on stage and all the live audio I can hear pretty well. We were in Vegas, and Austin came in with his vocal on All I Feel Is You like a full measure early.
Uh-oh.
Like not even like a full rotation early. And I was like, that's not right, because I like he's in there, because I can hear like the recorded version, yeah. And I just hear Austin. I'm looking at him, and he's like singing, I just faintly hear him singing the lyric. I'm like, oh no! So like now nothing's gonna line up. Like when everyone kicks in, all the tracks, like nothing's gonna line up. So now I had to stop the tracks during the intro of All I Feel Is You. So now nothing. There's no like cool synth, like none of that stuff, and the reverse guitar and stuff.
No.
So there was none of that. So luckily, like most of that stuff is like pretty much the like what you hear is the actual band and playing. But there is like the violin section when that comes in. Like obviously that's not played live. And yeah, I had to basically, as we got closer to the downbeat, I had to time, like by hand, I had to go to the section where on the laptop because I have it next to me. I'm going on the grid and I'm trying to start the downbeat to line up with the tracks. So Austin's like get ready to go and no one else, and then I hit the space bar, but I'm also supposed to hit the downbeat at the same time. So like we just somehow magically just squeak by. Like there is a video of it and you can hear it's a little flammy at times, but we did manage to pull it off. But at that I was shitting bricks. I was like, oh my God. And like it's not like you can just stop. That's the thing. Like it's not like it was one of those things that you plan for and then hope that it never happens. Because like in practice, I'll do this thing called session sabotage, where I'll just randomly just turn the tracks off, and like everyone's ears go out, and we just have to keep playing. It's just to like prepare for that.
Session sabotage.
Yeah. So just like kind of prepare for if it ever does happen or the tracks have to go out. So yeah, but that actually happened at a show, and then I was like, we all he looked back at me like when it happened, because he didn't notice it until I stopped it and there was like no more anything, and he looked at me, he was like, you're off. And he's like, oh shit. And but we pulled it off. And then the funny thing is, after I ringed him out backstage after, not actually, but I was like, don't ever do that again, or else I'm giving you a count, and so you know. He did it right the next night, but then the next night he did the exact same thing, and I was like,
almost like you memorized it wrong.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yep. So now there will our upcoming tour next year. There will be a count-in for when he's supposed to come in and sing. That will go, Austin 2, 3, 4. And that's what you're getting. And so yeah, we'll get that in there. But yeah, actually that show was the same Vegas show that I was deathly sick at, that Austin first messed up. So that show was just that show was just a
it was
a
a
nightmare.
shit show.
Yes it was. So
One question I've asked you before, but I wanted to ask you again because it's been a little while. Your fans love your guys' music and you guys so much that some of them have gone to lengths such as tattooing your song lyrics on them. What does it mean to you that you're producing something and putting it out there into the world that means so much to someone that they would permanently imprint it on their arm, shoulder, wherever it is they put it?
see, whenever I'm asked this question, I'm like always speechless, because it's like you read all these comments and stuff on YouTube, and then like it's not until we're face to face with these people, because we actually met like a ton of people that have had our tattoos all, and it's just like, or they tell us a story of how like we saved their life or something, and it's always just like, not to say like all the YouTube comments and stuff aren't real, it's just like it's like a different, like when someone is toe to toe with you and telling you this, it's like, whoa, it's like that much more real, you know? So it's like, I'm always just very grateful to be part of someone's life in that way. And, you know, that's like always like the reminder is why I all like the sleepless nights and all the crazy attention to detail that maybe would go unnoticed, but I mean that's just it just reminds me of like what I do. What I do is meaningful, and it's not all for nothing, because I spend a lot of time and a lot of money on a lot of this stuff, and I mean, Austin and I both, and make a lot of sacrifices, and just to know that and see that it's all worth it because of somebody like that and people like that. It's an honor, seriously. So we're very grateful, and yeah, it's a very humbling thing. I feel like it's just like wow. So yeah, we always make sure to get pictures, and yeah, just cool moment.
Yeah.
So
This question, in a way, is sort of one and the same. But let's say there's someone in the audience today. As you know, there's a lot of people from 24 years old and younger that listen to this podcast. Let's say there's someone who is in high school and they're thinking about, or maybe they're not, maybe they're even 30 or 35 and they're working a job as an accountant and they've always had these 10 songs that they've never released. They've always wanted to start this podcast. They've had all these pictures they've been painting and they've thought, what if I try to sell 8 of these to a gallery and would people buy them? So anyone that's listening, that's thinking about going down this route, because I know you so well, I know that it has not been all sunshine and rainbows. There have been times when maybe the money's not there.
Yeah.
There have been the 40-hour work days.
Yeah.
There have been some moments that are, probably frustrating and you're exhausted.
yeah.
So to anyone that's thinking about pulling the trigger on whatever this artistic thing is that they're thinking about starting, what would you tell them?
Well, one, it's never too late to start. That's number one. And two, stop thinking and just start doing. It's never been easier to get art out into the world. And now more than ever, I think it's more important that art comes from humans, like, I know in our industry, like there's AI music now. That's really freaking good. I don't know if you ever heard it or listened to like some covers that people do of like Slipknot songs in bluegrass. It's great. And it makes you go, uh-oh. But it's missing that human factor of feel, raw emotion, human experience. Like all that, it's not in AI music at all. It's perfectly tuned, locked to the grid, perfect. What you get is what you got. And some of like the most famous classic records of all time are classics and piece of art because they're real. Like they make you feel something. Like I feel like music's in this weird spot where like do you ever think that 80s music and classic rock, or like you think Living on a Prayer is ever gonna like be unpopular?
No.
Or do you think like the next generation is gonna know, "Whoa, living on a prayer"? Like they're all gonna be singing that. Like, why is that? But when do you think Macklemore song from 2010 is gonna be classic music?
Downtown.
Yeah, like I don't foresee that happening. And it's like, or AI music now that's being generated. Like, do you think that's gonna be classical music? Like, probably not. And the thing about like AI art, anything, is that it's like it's always creating something based on the past. It's not creating anything new. It's just it's just compiling a bunch of things that have already been done, learning from it, and combining it into something new. It's like a big ol' freaking concoction of art that it just found from all over the internet. And it's like it's not creating anything until someone like an actual human does something new. And like, with music, I guess it's like hard to use this because it's 12 notes in a scale. Like there's only so much you can do with that. But and every single chord combination melody has probably already been produced. But with things like painting or writing, or like someone has to come up with something fresh and new, and it happens all the time. And I just don't think AI is in the position to do that yet. And I don't know if it ever will be. So I feel like, will AI replace artists? I don't think it will replace them, but it could become a contender. But I don't think it'll ever create the new something that's like never been done before. I don't think it will ever create like something like what's a really popular like artist right now that kind of like blew up out of nowhere.
Well,
because of like something like Benson Boone, maybe, because he's like he's kind of like doing like the Freddie Mercury thing, but like there was no, like, now that you might have, but even still, like, you're still kind of like Freddie Mercury was Freddie Mercury because he was like this, almost like this queen, as maybe we could say. But he just like lived this artistic vision of himself, I guess, that he knew what he had was great. And I don't think AI has that ability to be like, yeah, this is something new, this is something fresh. It's only taking those ideas that real people have and then spitting out something that's inspired by it. It's always inspired by, not by artists. AI is not creating anything groundbreaking, I guess we could say.
Yeah.
So to me, now more than ever, we need like real people putting art in the world to push that needle forward.
Yeah.
With art, and rather than just accepting whatever AI throws at you. Like, oh, I want a picture on my wall, and you just type up a thing. Like, go like maybe paint something yourself. Like, if you want a painting on a wall, go to Walmart, get a canvas, do something. And if you can't do that, find an artist that will. Like our record, our album cover, we just finished it. We found an artist on Instagram who does these beautiful canvas paintings. I think his name's Philip. Forget his last name. We could maybe tag him in the thing, but he just makes all these abstract art pieces, and we were just looking at him and just loved his art and was like, hey, can we buy one of these for our album art? And he was like, sure. So our next album will be like an actual piece of art done by a real artist, and plan on getting vinyls printed so you can actually hold it.
Whoa.
And see it and look at it. And so yeah, it's to answer your question, full circle. Just it's never too late to start, and it is important what you're doing.
Yeah.
And even if it's just for you, just for yourself, like it's such like a therapeutic thing. Like I think it's important for everyone to have some kind of outside hobby or thing to do. It doesn't need to be art related. It could be sports or whatever. Just something outside that gets your creative or kid-like brain going, I guess.
Yeah.
Your kid-like brain. We'll
Yeah.
put it that way. Yeah. It's hard being an adult. So I think it would be better if we all had that thing that we can feel like a kid again, of adventurous, young, wild, and free type,
Yeah.
So I think that's important for people, especially nowadays, to experience. And for me, it's creativity and art and making things sound good audio-wise and amongst other things. And yeah, so that's my thing. That's my little spiel on that.
I think that's why I can stay so consistent in the gym so easily. Is it's my playtime.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
It's stress free. If I do go in there stressed, I usually always feel marginally better, if not significantly better.
Yeah.
And it's my play. I see friends.
Yeah.
It's my playtime.
Yeah.
So
and
it's
even
easy
that
to-
is, I would also say, is another form of art. It's like bodybuilding, like you're just trying to put muscle on the right areas of the body to create an image and physique that is superhero like.
Yeah.
Like that's to me it's kind of like, rather than like how they would like chip away to make like statues and stuff, it's like the opposite of that. You're just like packing it on.
Yeah.
And trying to get the right proportions everywhere. And yeah. So I think there's art all around. Just got to look for it and take part in it.
Yeah.
Don't let fucking AI try and take it. Create something new, something fresh, something that comes from you.
Yeah.
Because there is no other you. AI will never be you. So
Tyler Hayes is Tyler Hayes.
Tyler Hayes, David Auclair is David Auclair.
Yeah.
I almost said David Sitbag is David Sitbag. It's like, that's not your last name.
Well, someone did tell me recently that he in his contact information, my name is David, first name, last name Sitback.
Nice. David Sitbag.
Well, we're going based off gut feeling here. I have a section I want to move to.
Okay.
And we're sort of going to wrap up with this last section. Before we step into it,
Yeah.
knowing that this will come out early January,
Yep.
we know Man of Tomorrow is already released.
Yep.
Is there anything that the Broken View is going to be releasing that you've... No.
But
Things are in the works.
yes.
2026 is going to be an exciting year.
Yeah. I mean, there will be more singles. Just December and January, not good times to release music. Just kind of things are not happening during that time.
Yeah.
So.
And that is why you should go subscribe to the Broken Views YouTube channel, follow them on Instagram, subscribe to David Saturday Night Sitback if you enjoyed tonight's episode, follow the podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you do this small thing for us, which takes absolutely none of your money, my commitment to you will be to keep finding awesome guests like Tyler every Saturday to bring you stories and inspiration to help you navigate your own journey of this thing called life, because it's not always easy. And we could use some outside guidance, which is probably why people are tuning in. At least I hope that's why they're tuning in. Either that or there really is. I actually did have one person, this is a true story, who messaged me on Instagram back when the podcast was like 6 months old. And he said, I love your belches, and if you would send me an audio message of you belching, I will be a fan for life. And I thought it was sort of weird, but at the time I was like, I'll do anything to grow this thing. So I ran to my fridge, I grabbed a LaCroix, I chugged it, I waited, I felt it coming up, I hit the record button, and I sent it to him.
Yeah.
The crazy things we'll do to keep a fan happy.
Yeah, man. I mean, oh, what if I? There's probably some. I mean, we get some. I don't think I've ever had like a really like weird encounter in person, but there's been some weird requests from fans. None that comes to mind in person, but yeah, I love all my fans, and I don't want to out them, but there's certainly been a couple like, wow, okay,
yeah. For this
All right.
last thing for you, this last gift, hopefully, would you put your headphones on?
Yeah.
You'll understand why in a minute.
Gonna play some audio.
Yep.
Cool.
So Tyler is usually more in the know about what's coming up with this podcast than anybody else on planet Earth. But there is one closely guarded secret that I have been keeping from him that he hates this right now. But and I are you nervous? What's going through your what? Let me just pause here. What are you thinking about it right now?
So you want me to put on headphones, so that means there's gonna be some audio related video thing.
Maybe.
Okay.
While I do this, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. Don't worry, I'm not going to like do anything nefarious. He's so upset. It's so funny how his reaction is the opposite of mine. I've been looking forward to this moment for like 3 weeks, and he's just like not
I don't
about
like
it.
surprises here, David, but I'll do it for you.
So I told don't close your eyes yet, just for the
okay.
audience. A new tradition going into 2026 is that I am asking all of my guests if I can be put in touch with their partner, their best friend, their parents, and as part of deepening my research around my guests, I'm having a phone call with whoever's name and number they gave me. For Tyler, I know him so well, I did not feel the need to have a conversation with one of his friend or family members because I know them all already. I've talked with them. I've had dinner with them. But what I did do was I reached out to your mom and I asked her if she would write you a letter. And she did. And so with that being said, I'm going to write you a letter and then I'm going to play you a song. I'm going to write you a letter. I'm going to read you a letter and then I'm going to play you a song, which unfortunately we'll have to cut out. So the audience, you won't be able to hear it. And
Is it something that my mom chose?
Yep.
I know exactly what song.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
All right, so go ahead and close your eyes, and we're going to read this thing. Dear Tyler, oh my gosh, where do I begin? Let me start here. You came into the world fighting, and fighting hard. When the doctors took you from me, there were no cries, no screams, just silence. I was broken, wondering what was happening. Soon after they rushed you to the NICU, they hooked you up to every machine imaginable, and told me I couldn't see you for 24 hours. That was one of the hardest days of my life. After lots of prayers and an amazing medical team, you soon began to breathe on your own. 2 weeks later, I went home with you, my 8-pound baby boy. Ever since that day, I knew you would and could get through anything life throws your way. As I look back on your younger years, I can now laugh at how you tested us. Your little temper tantrums, your mini outbursts. When someone said you couldn't do something, not only did you do it, but you did it proudly. If we told you something was impossible, you made it possible. When you were younger, we just believed this was you being stubborn. But as you got older, it grew into a blessing. Your determination had commitment to any project your determination and commitment to any project you take on is incredible. I see it in your career path you chose. No one will hand you this dream. You worked for it every step of the way. You are working hard for it, and I'm so damn proud of you. I am and always will be your biggest supporter and number one fan. The day you moved to Texas, I cried. Not sad tears, but happy tears. I knew your dreams were coming true, and I was so happy for you. I listen to our song more often now, the song that I would play when I was pregnant with you, the song that got us through some tough times when you were a little guy, the song we will someday dance to at your wedding. I love you, Tyler, and I couldn't... Sorry. And I couldn't be more proud of you and the man you have become. I'm so happy that you are making these dreams come true, and so proud to call you my son. Sorry. I love you. From Mom, a.k.a. your birth giver. And at her request, she asked me to play You'll Be in My Heart by Phil Collins. So if you guys want to listen to this and put a pause, go ahead and go over. But I'm going to play it for Tyler real quick.
Very nice.
And that's for you.
Oh, that's sweet. Oh. That's cool how you printed these out. That's your thing, man. It's awesome.
What's going through your head right now?
I'm just grateful for an awesome mother, aka birth giver. Birth giver, that's her contact name in my phone. Birth giver. But yes. Oh. But yeah, no, I did forget about that. Yeah, I almost died. I almost was not here.
Small thing to
Yeah.
over. Should have asked you about that.
Yeah, no, that is right. Yeah. No, and the part where my temper tantrums and my mini outbursts when someone said you couldn't do something. That was my childhood. Yeah, every time. Yeah. Wow. Beautiful. Well, thank you, David. And thank you, Mom. I love you. I miss you. That's sweet.
That is a beautiful letter.
Yeah.
I didn't,
I know.
you know what's funny is I didn't read it before right now. And now after seeing how I reacted and then thinking of tomorrow's guest, whose mom also wrote him a letter, I'm like, maybe I should pre-read these things so I don't burst into tears at these beautiful messages every episode through 2026.
It might be cool to, if they're comfortable with it, see if they'd be comfortable having them read it, like mother, and then you play it. That might be. But, no, that was sweet. Ugh, I'm going to have to call her. I called her yesterday. How'd you print these?
With the printer.
Oh, they're nice. Did you get this paper?
Just for this?
Is this like special paper, or did you print this texture on the paper?
No, the paper came like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
As I was like, wow, you did front and back. That's crazy.
But yeah, this is ironic timing because for the audience, we were talking last night about something I could give to the guests that they could take as a memento. That's something more special than these coffee mugs I had made 3 years ago, which are still special, but not very personal. And I was fighting to not be like, I think I found something that we can use for now.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want you to have any idea this was coming.
I like that. Very nice. Can I show you the... I could show you after, but you played it. I think that was the movie version.
Yeah, because the other one was about 4 minutes long, so I found this 1.5-minute version. I was like, this will be better.
Yeah. Do you know that's so good.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I listened to that one before today too.
Dude, that one and Son of Man. Son of Man, I do this. That whole record, the Tarzan soundtrack, is just awesome. Yeah.
There was a night this year, I think it was when we were in the summertime, but I was looking for something to watch and I turned on Tarzan and I was like, this is such a good movie.
I know.
It's so fun.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
Wholesome. It's a little bit of suspense at certain parts.
Yep.
If you haven't seen Disney's Tarzan and you need something to watch tonight, go watch that.
Yeah, dude. It is good. And then the soundtrack's just iconic. I mean, Phil Collins, bro. What a guy. Well, thank you for this.
You're welcome.
Yes. And thank you, Mom. Yes.
Well, Tyler Hayes, this was a great episode. We'll have you back, so we'll talk more in the near future.
Of course.
Is there anything else you were really hoping I would ask about that maybe I forgot to bring up?
I don't think so. How are you feeling in your space? In your new space? How are you doing?
I feel great. I mean,
Good.
look at the quality of this video is awesome. The studio looks awesome. We got the live event coming up on February 28th.
That's coming up, man.
I have a returning guest who I'll keep a secret for now, but was probably, I always feel bad saying this, but it's the truth, probably my favorite episode in the first 100 episodes. And I called him the other day to catch up on some stuff, and this goes back to one of our earlier talks. He has been drawing for a while. He's an artist, but he's never published it everywhere. And somehow, I think through his mom, he got in contact with a gallery. He showed him some of their work. And they were like, we love it. We want these 8 pieces. And so they put them up in their gallery, and they've been selling for a pretty good amount of money. I don't want to say because that's not my information to disclose.
Yeah.
But he is 21 years old, and we have this whole new thing to talk about because he never told me and that this was something he was pursuing.
Wow.
So I'm going to have him back for the 3rd year anniversary episode. And I just love him as a person. So I'm excited to be able to catch up with him and not only talk about art, but I think the thing I loved about his episode is similar to you since we were friends. I feel like his guard was down, which is hard to get people to do in this kind of environment.
Sure.
It's a stranger, you're at my house.
Yeah.
But our conversation in his first episode just went all over the map, from life after death to community and how he feels lonely as a man, and I can share that sentiment. And he's just such a brutally honest person.
Yeah.
I when I was talking with him, I was like, will you do this episode for me? He's like, I would love to. So there's a lot of things to look forward to in 2026, and that makes dealing with the hard things a little bit easier.
There you go. Awesome, man. Do you feel like you mentioned that it's sometimes hard for guests to open up in certain situations because usually maybe not the first time you're meeting, but like in the setting, do you feel like since we worked on your space a little more, do you feel like maybe the episodes are a little more comfortable for the guests, or do you feel like it's pretty like, because I love sitting, this is my favorite spot. Whenever I come over to your house, I like to sit right here, and I'm like, I'm gonna eat dinner right here.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
It's so cozy, and I could go for it a whole nother 2 hours if we needed to, because it's just, it's a sit back with David, and it's very cozy.
It does have an effect on people.
Yeah.
I've literally noticed that, and I'm not just saying it to like, make you feel better or to blow
No,
smoke
I
up
just
your
want to
ass.
make sure that it's good for you.
It's been great. Literally since this studio space has been built, there's only been I feel like the quality of the episodes has tripled.
Yeah.
And I have wondered if when people walk through that door, because a lot of them, they know what it looks like because I find them on Instagram, and then they follow me back. And so then the posts start showing up in their feed. But I guess this is going to be a crazy analogy. It'd be one thing to see a skydiving video, right?
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden you find yourself at an airport with a tandem. That's the guy strapped on your back.
Yeah.
And you're getting in a plane and you're at the door.
Yeah.
The emotion it's
like,
different.
Oh, why? Yeah.
And so I think when people walk through the door, like I told you, all of the colored lights are off, but all of the white ones are on, and they see the cameras. And Thad greets them, and I give them a hug.
Yeah.
And then one of the things on the form that I'm asking people that's new is what their current favorite band is.
Yeah.
And I ask that so I have their favorite music playing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's not just an idea, it's reality.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is happening, and it's real.
Yeah.
And then we sit down, and similar to Maya, I start asking them questions about things they had no idea I knew about.
Yeah.
And so I think between everything combined, the music, the studio space, being in person versus being over Zoom, that people are sharing things that they didn't expect they would,
Yeah.
or maybe they don't even want to,
Yeah.
but all of a sudden they are.
Yeah. They are.
Yeah.
You're like, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
It's all part of my plan,
Yeah.
Pinky.
No, man, like you're doing a great thing here.
I appreciate that.
And to anyone who's listening, give this man a follow because he's gonna change the game, I think, for this year. And I will do everything I can to help him. So yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Subscribe to David Saturday Night Sitback, and we will visit the website and come to the live event if you're in Austin, Texas.
Yep.
It'll be a lot of fun.
www.dsnsb.com.
There it is.
And we didn't want price to be a hindrance to anyone. So when you
Yeah.
go in there to get a ticket, you'll notice that it says you have to pay $1 to attend. Because I've had some teens in Austin who said they really want to come, but price would be a hindrance.
Yeah.
So with that being said, if you're listening and you're in Austin and you can afford to give more, whether that's $20 or $200 or even $1,000, keep in mind you're almost like sponsoring these teens being able to come by donating $50 or $75, whatever you can financially afford right now.
Yep.
So please make this event accessible to the younger people in Austin. And if you can give more than $1, do it. And if you're a teen listening and you feel bad about giving $1, don't, because we made it like this so you can come and have a good time and not feel guilty and just be able to experience DSNSB live. So pay your $1, show up. I would love to finally meet some audience members in person.
Yeah, let's pay what you want for exactly that reason. So, yeah, it's gonna be a fun afternoon. So
it's gonna be crazy. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
I know. Are you getting nervous?
Nope.
No. Good.
I'm getting excited.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
I guess you're not gonna get nervous, are you? Well, do you get nervous knowing that you could ruin the day?
I will say.
Sorry, that was terrible.
There
but
is
you
a
do.
sense of. I hope everything runs smoothly, and we don't run into like something like we did yesterday, where we're like, oh yeah, we're planning to, because we were gonna film this yesterday, but we messed around on the computer for 3 hours trying to fix issues that were coming about, and now, I mean, I hope it looks like it's been running smoothly, so I think we fixed it, but I'm just hoping everything runs smoothly. The audience finds the spot, and the you don't get on the production side of things. Everything works out.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy happens or whatever. So, which I don't think they will, but I will do my best.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why we're starting. That's sort of why I'm doing this. It's a test run.
Yeah.
This for me is a let's see what problems we run into.
Yep.
So when we're doing a venue that fits 500 people, we already sort of know what to avoid.
Yeah.
And then there'll probably be new problems with that event.
Yeah.
And that'll be fine.
Yeah. That's live production. What I want. I mean, I get like this every tour. I'm always like setting up. Like I always like to get like at least like in an hour beforehand, like just actually 2 hours beforehand, an hour to just relax after, because I'm in such like I hope we didn't forget this cable back in Utah or something.
Yeah.
And we're here and don't have anything, and it's like, oh, we got everything. Especially the first show. The first show is the worst for that, because we pack up everything from the house and the storage and stuff, and just hoping that everything's there.
Yeah.
That we need, and if it's not, then it's like, oops. Well, Guitar Center.
Yeah.
So
The only thing I'm nervous about is that it's in a library.
Yeah.
Because I think there could be some parts where like people might want to clap, or there might be some parts where the guest that I'm going to have on is really funny. So like, what if he says something and people laugh and then they immediately stifle themselves because they remember or what if the audience doesn't care, and we're being so loud that like the venue director sneaks in and is like, David,
Yeah.
that's the only thing I'm nervous about.
Yeah.
But I really want to do it here. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck it. If any of that happens,
Yeah.
who cares?
Yeah.
What's cool and also, again, adds to my nervousness is I went and walked the library again the other day, and it's an open space. So
Yeah.
even though we'll be on the first floor,
Yeah.
people on the fifth floor are going to hear us,
Yeah.
which is good because maybe they'll lean over the balcony, be like, what's going on down there? They'll come down to
Sure.
the first floor, they'll take a seat. It
Yeah.
also makes me nervous because what if there's someone working on their dissertation and they go to the library staff and they're like, what's all this laughing?
Yeah. But also, I feel like the library wouldn't allow you to do this if that would be an issue. The fact that they are allowing you to, and you're paying for the space, right?
Yep.
So yeah.
And
they're gonna tell that guy to bug off.
And I literally said in the email, because I was thinking about this, and so when I emailed the events dude, I told him, listen, there will be a live audience, and there's oftentimes a lot of jokes that are told, or people might want to clap, so it will be noisy. Is this a problem? And he said no. So that helped me a little bit, but I'm still overthinking it.
I mean, dude, that's me with any kind of production thing. I overthink everything and try to plan for all situations, and then usually the situation you didn't plan for happens.
Yeah.
Or it just goes so smooth, you don't have to worry about any of it. But that's pretty rare. There's always some kind of like, oh, usually not too bad. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm excited, and I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your guests, and it's gonna be a fun time. So
It's going to be a fun year.
get your tickets.
I'm excited for you guys too. Keep your eyes on the Broken View, seriously, because I have some insider information on things they've been working on, and I can't wait for it to be public information. So go follow them as well. And yeah, everyone, stay healthy, stay happy. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good Saturday, and we'll see you at the live event in about 5 weeks. Bye, everyone.
Bye.